There it is.
Oh, I thought you had already.
Oh no, not right away. I have now though.
Great, now we can say all the... Never mind.
Oh, Ice is already in a match.
Have y'all, like, checked out the jukebox?
No, I
in the
haven't.
lobby?
You disconnected during your last match. Aw, thanks, Nintendo. I didn't notice.
Apparently we can have table turf battles with each other now.
I saw that. I haven't tried it out yet. I don't know if it's with friends only or just with randoms. I'm like, I honestly can't believe that wasn't a launch feature. Like, how do you increase?
Supposed to be.
Well, it's Nintendo's new mantra. Why put it in at launch when we can make you wait 6 months? I did see the
getting killed by
jukebox.
people again, so that's good.
Yeah, the jukebox is right here near Judd.
Yeah, I have used it like once or twice, but I haven't played much outside of daily wins this season yet.
I haven't played since last month.
Yeah, you probably didn't play during the big run, did you?
I mean, I did the Grizzco weapon special thing.
Oh yeah, the golden rotation.
My head.
I didn't really reach out in the Discord much because I wasn't able to stream the big run. But I'm like, I'm still gonna play it. Gosh, the egg quota for those is so difficult to get.
Bayon.
Can you still use this?
Well, you seem to be stable now.
Well, that's true. Streaming is like a very different beast. At least with recording, the only burden is on my computer if it can physically handle it, which that's fine. The problem is like streaming. It's like if you ever take a computer test to test your computer speeds, like a browser thing. It's like you just Google internet speed test or whatever, and you just test it.
I've never done that.
Well, most people
probably.
I would think most people that have normal functioning internet don't need to. But I'm a avid fan of that website because of how bad my stuff gets. But
I'm the biggest contributor.
exactly. So like
I don't know if I've ever used that before.
Like your internet's broken up into 2 different speeds: your upload speed and your download speed. And download speed is like things like just using the internet, watching YouTube videos, streaming things like from streaming services, that kind of thing. Your upload speed is like uploading things to the internet, or if you are a streamer. So our download speed is fine, it's very acceptable. Our upload speed is garbage. So, yeah. Like, to give you an idea, upload speed of that is like, acceptable is like 10 mega something per second. I was getting like at max 4. So like 60% below average speed for streaming.
Yikes.
Yeah. So I don't know if that has anything to do with the weather or the provider or what it is, but I'm hoping it's the weather, because then the weather will pass. But I was having some teleporting around the map when I was playing Splatoon last night too.
Oof. Ah, my head. Ah, migraine.
I do not know how I'm gonna. Am I gonna worry about editing this? I have no idea what I'm gonna do. I'm like, have I been talking to the void for 5 minutes? I'm like, it's okay. I feel like a very small amount of people actually pay attention to my Splatoon uploads, and that's fine.
I watched it.
Like, we say the dumbest things when we're doing Splatoon stuff. I'm honestly surprised that hasn't been brought up yet.
Because nobody knows. I could say some of the most horrible obscenities and no one would know because no one watches the Splatoon videos. Rim said the N-word, but since no one ever saw the stream, it never happened. It doesn't exist. Hello, Aowen. I see someone put you in here.
So the kitty is there.
She's over there. Oh my god, we are going on 75 seconds of waiting.
Again?
Of waiting. Up.
Is Sora like way louder than usual to you?
Sora does sound a bit louder. Oh, game time. It's time to game, gamers.
I ate spicy food earlier, so...
You eat spicy food? So therefore it makes your voice louder.
Yeah.
Sure, if that's how that works. I'm gonna turn
That or
it down
just...
to, like 50.
Okay, let's see.
Busting my eardrums right now.
Yeah.
It's time to game. Let's see if it'll hold together.
Let's hope you don't shoot into the void again.
I'm hoping that just, recording in Discord is not going to be too much, because I was playing with my sister last night, and we had lag. We were lagging around, like, no doubt about it. But we never got disconnected, despite the fact that we probably should have.
Wow.
It's kind of... Oh, I'm dead. At least I died in real time.
Bro, I'm dead.
Bruh, I'm dead! How's it feel, Ice, to have a bucket that actually works?
I mean, the other bucket worked. It was everything else in the kit that didn't.
Well, you know what I mean. Oh, I keep moving into this bro's way. Oh, no. I'm dead. No! I'm not gonna get my Fanta.
Respect zero.
I guess Fanta Orange.
Is Fanta orange? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's Fanta and Sunkissed.
Sunkissed. Oh, and that's a murder. Whoa! Oh, I had freaking Fanta, so I respawned instantly. Oh, bucket! Oh no, I died to the bucket.
I died to the bucket as well. This migraine is not helping at all.
Hopefully the bro he's gonna respawn instantly. I would like to get out of home base, please, and thank you. Alright, laser. Okay, so can we talk about the giant car on the stick over here? I don't understand.
Car on the stick.
There's a giant, near the middle of the map, there's a giant car. What? There's a giant car on the stick.
This impaled.
Ah!
There's just a car that's impaled right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got disconnected.
Well, that explains how I just killed 2 people. And they
Yeah.
Dangumit. Ah! Why?
And then I
Watch.
died. And then I got
Wow.
killed across the map.
I got disconnected.
Watch.
No.
And Nintendo's gonna blame me for
It's a
it.
2v2 now, and I don't think any of us are actually in the game.
Win it for us, Iceolate.
I didn't.
Win
Sorry.
the hollow victory.
No.
This chair needs a massive...
Let's see what the score is. 58-35.
Oh man, it's
My
taking me
brain
forever to
hurts
connect to the internet.
so
Oh
badly.
man, the freaking internet gave up.
Ow, ow, ow,
Great.
ow. I know I haven't had a brain freeze in years, but this is exactly what it feels like.
I got kicked to the lobby. Well, I got kicked to the title screen, brah.
Again?
Again.
Is it daytime for you again?
Yes. I gotta turn the nighttime back on. There we go. I turned the night on.
Night mode, dude.
Night mode engaged.
Ow,
Your
ow,
punishment
ow.
for disconnecting was having to use Discord light mode.
Oh god, I can't remember the last time I've had to use
Not
that.
Discord night mode.
No.
I mean, we could probably try a table turf battle if y'all want.
What is happening to this chair?
I thought that I got disconnected.
Watch that actually just break too. Okay, so I'm into like 10 minutes of this recorded and we haven't had any gameplay matches finished. How you gonna end the match? 35 seconds left, come on. I wonder if my Switch is connected to the wrong internet. Yo, Isolate's busting out the hose.
The hose.
The hose knows.
Oh, what? Is it too hard to get the hose?
Isolate, I couldn't find the hose, so I brought my own.
Always come prepared.
Always be prepared. As Sakurai said, stay strapped or get clapped. So let's see it. Watch it take a minute and a half to get a match, and then get disconnected 30 seconds in.
Again.
I thought the gameplay would be fine, even if the stream wasn't, because goodness gracious, I mean, I lagged around last night when I played, but again, I didn't get disconnected. In fact, I didn't have any trouble playing Salmon Run, so. But then again, the Splatfests are notorious for being bad at internet connection anyway.
Yeah.
Well, if we can't do Splatfest, we might as well do, like, table turf.
Sora's really trying for table turf.
What? Table turf is really fun, okay?
Okay, but you're like...
I'm not really a trading card person either. I just... I like it.
The game's fine. I haven't tried it against an actual player yet.
Neither have I.
Sneakily slides their Yu-Gi-Oh collection under the desk.
The most I've played is the Pokemon the trading card game, and that was mostly on the Game Boy.
I've never played it, even though I'm a collector.
You should try it then on the Nintendo Switch Online.
No, don't do that.
No, I mean like...
I know
it's free.
I know it's free. I just don't want to.
No. Mr. Fox. I mean, you don't have to. I'm gonna be honest though, I actually really enjoy the trading card game. The Game Boy one, I mean. Oh, I somehow... Okay. Oh. I don't know what's happening.
Oh my gosh. I got the stamp and it felt so powerful.
Missiles and going.
So yeah, there's cars on sticks now. And I don't know how to feel about it.
They're impaled.
It's like what you call it?
They've been impaled.
I've been impaled.
I've been impaled. Dude, die already, thank you. Oh god, am I gonna... Is it gonna kill me? Because I never got kill credit for that kill. Oh no.
I will not be squelched.
So the cars are probably that new anti-sniper stage hazards they put in. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Yeah, because snipers are just were being way too crazy.
And still are.
Yeah, I hate it. Bro, I kind of miss back when the Splatoon 1 metagame was just arrow sprays everywhere, and now it's just like a different type of toxicity. At least with arrow sprays, you can figure it out. It's like
killed by this arrow spray.
like how dare this game suddenly start having having a defined metagame? Smush him. We were like all in this corner, and then like a lot of nothing. How are we losing? I felt like we're in the lead.
Because they are currently in our base.
Oh, fantastic. Alright, well.
Gone.
Alright, I'm afraid to retreat because if I do that, I'm going to give them ground. Alright, got one of them. Alright,
I got one over here that's kind of cornering. If anyone wants to help.
I'm just trying to clean up
I
as much
hate this
purple as I
bullshit.
can.
frack, I'm on the wrong level.
Okay,
Oh
got
no,
it.
I'm fine.
He eats so much, jeez.
Cleaning up as much purple as I can.
Die. Die, non-stamp user. I am too powerful for your kin.
I have no idea what happened. Hey, the match finished!
So,
Huzzah!
Disconnect right now.
Shush! No, don't say that! Don't
Ooh.
wish that on me.
What?
Well, that was a
Not enough.
solid, exact 10% difference.
It was
Yikes.
a good try.
Good try, and that's all it was.
It would be great if I could actually think correctly.
Yeah, but when is that the case?
To me, having a migraine, this is difficult.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't recommend playing Platoon with a migraine on a normal circumstances. But, you know, honestly, my first thought when I remember that it was a Splatfest this weekend, I'm like, man, you know, I really just don't feel like playing Splatoon this weekend. Watches the game. It's like, I don't really feel like playing this game right now. But here I am.
Plays it anyways.
Splatfests never come around during times I actually want to play the game. And since, like, you don't play well because you don't want to play the game. So then you just start playing worse and then making you want to play the game even less. At least that's just kind of how I feel about it. It's like, man, it's like I sit back and I think, man, I really, really want to enjoy Splatoon. And it's like, then whenever I play it, I straight up not having a good time. And I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's just like, I definitely believe that the metagame, or just the player base itself, has just gotten more aggressive and competitive than it was in Splatoon 2, and way more than it was in Splatoon 1.
Like, I remember during that, like, trial run for it, with the tricolor battles and everything,
Right.
Oh, that one?
like, it wasn't that hard to actually, you know, do things.
I
But
mean, when
now it's just like, holy frick, there's so many tryhards.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that they're... Yeah. Oh, here's a new one. Oh, it's the Squid Sisters.
During the game's like free trial Splatfest,
Ah!
like everything was so much easier, you know?
Yeah. Dude, I got disconnected already!
Oh,
Ow.
that's so...
And
Well,
how the matching? Oh, there it goes.
it's okay.
Ah, my brain. My left
Yeah, I think
side
back when
brain.
the game was literally free to anyone who had the Switch, lots of people who didn't know how to play Splatoon were playing it, so the skill level was a lot lower. Because there's like, you know, potentially up to however many millions of Nintendo Switch owners there are. But then you go to people who paid for the game, and then you got the people who just, those people really know how to play. And it's like, ooh.
Ow, ow, ow.
And then there's just me who, you know,
Brain.
paid for the game, but doesn't care about it that much.
That's also me.
Which is like...
But I don't want to look back and later be like, yeah, but what if I wanted to participate? I'm like, well, here I am participating and not having a good time. And it's mostly just because it's like, I don't know. I mean, at least right now, so far, the weapon layouts for against the players haven't been super toxic. We haven't seen a bunch of splatlings and snipers, which seem to be the new meta now. It's just like, oh, snipers over here. And my sister's like, what happened to the casual lobby and the tryhard lobby? It's like, the tryhards don't stay in the tryhard lobby because they want to go over here and win. I'm like, could you please stop? I hate to compare...
Also because they're fundamentally different, because the tryhard lobby has game modes that the tryhards hate.
Yeah, that's
Whereas
true
if
too.
you go to the casual lobby, you just always get turf war.
True.
Which everyone likes. Everyone likes turf war.
I think, well, I kind of meant like there was like Splatfest battles, standard and Splatfest Pro battles, is what I was referring to specifically. But that's true too.
Oh, okay.
That point still, your point still stands. That just wasn't what I was making specifically.
Mhm.
I 100% agree. It's like I love how I'm here playing the game and I'm just trash talking it constantly.
Yeah.
I hate to make the
Nobody's
comparison to like a game that feels like less of a game to some people, but at least when I play Fortnite, and at least it actually it takes into consideration my skill level and other people's skill level, and actually balances the players you're playing against according to skill level. With Splatoon, it's just like, just go against whoever. We don't care. Who cares if it's a day?
Holy fuck,
It started doing that like around the Chapter 2 era of Fortnite or whatever, which I know means nothing to anyone else.
Yeah, thank you.
No,
I don't know the Fortnite timeline.
Basically, after everyone thought the game was over and the game blew up.
Hey,
pretty
guys,
much.
can we get a map that isn't fucking mincemeat?
We're stuck here.
I don't even remember what the other one in rotation is right now.
Me either.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, I got killed. I got a lot of damage on him, but they got me.
Oh god, purple was already up here in the base. Get the frick out of here. Oh, okay, hello. Be gone.
This map, after last month, this map is just cum zone to me.
Man, it's been a while since that Splatfest, honestly. God, it's been since February.
Oh, that was... Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't... I don't know if this technically counts as March's Splatfest or April's Splatfest, or neither. Or both. Watch them not get another Splatfest till May, or even June,
right.
Because it's like every other month seems to be Big Run now.
Oh, is that how they're doing it? Oh,
It feels like it. I feel like... at least that's what it seems like. We had a Big Run, then we had a Splatfest, or maybe it's every two? I'm not sure. Which is fine with me, because I enjoy Salmon Run a lot more. It just feels less like a competition, though. But, like, the thing is, they make it so competitive when you're supposed to be working together. Like, the level of competition... I don't know, that's just my prediction is right now. So, like, there's not a lot of, evidence to support that trend or whatever.
So this thing's full burst does, like, 90 damage. And I got that, and then 2 burst bombs, and the dude didn't die. I mean, it was spread out.
Oh, right, your hose thing, right. If you get chip damage on him beforehand, it's like a great killer.
Yeah, because it does like 90 damage exactly.
Is that the fast one or the slow one?
It's the fast one. The slow one shot with a full burst.
Oh, right, the slow one. Oh, okay. Oh my god, they're just... Ouch. Dead.
And it's also the new set.
Why?
I don't know what that was. I don't think it was English.
You want me to put the hammer down?
Roller, get back in the ink. You need to...
Welsh.
He's speaking the language of the gods.
Oh, no.
Which gods am I speaking to?
I don't know. I'm guessing the gods of the computer, or the void, because you just void now, middle of that response.
Right. Oh, nice.
My freaking...
I'm getting kills.
Yo, we have the danger.
Oh, I got killed. I got killed with like
I am the danger. I'm afraid this chair is about to snap on me. I don't like it.
Holy frick, I think we won.
That was excellent.
Ice.
Both of you with a Lord Frieza pose.
I'm just doing the silly jester pose.
I guess it is kind of more of a jester thing. Yo, the first win of the day. Serving it up Gary's way.
Nice.
Holy frick, my head.
Okay, I'm gonna change my pose now.
Why? Because I talk smack on it?
No.
It didn't even mean like that. That was the
I did
pose.
it once.
My brain does not want to work right now.
I also don't know why. See,
As long as you
this
can
is the
still
problem with
play, it's...
Splatoon for me. I go so long without playing it that whenever I change my gear, and then when I come back to the game, I'm like, why the hell do I have all this equipment?
Right? You were like, why do I have the Clash Blaster on?
Right? Because it's been like a month since I played. Like, what was I even doing?
I usually play it like at least a little bit every week. Except for this past week with the move and everything. It's like, I try to do just enough to get the daily win or whatever for those points and whatnot. And then I usually finish out whatever Salmon Run rotation is going on. Because I actually enjoy Salmon Run.
I only play when y'all invite me to play.
Pretty much me
just
too.
like,
Because the
otherwise I'd probably just be playing
catalog
tabletop.
and the Salmon Run stuff, it just doesn't feel rewarding to me. Like, I feel like there are better ways to get people to play. But that's the thing, is that most people want to play just because it's fun. But,
Right.
You know,
For me, standard gameplay.
System, it needs a lot of work.
Yeah,
Bring Sora. Bring Sora.
Persora.
Hey guys, guess what? We're back in the Cum Zone.
Why can't we do the other one? I want to see what the other one's like.
The stages are
I
going to
keep
rotate
forgetting
before we
to
even get a chance to see.
They already did.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah,
Oh.
they rotated and it was just mincemeat again. And we've only gotten mincemeat.
That is unfortunate. Please die. Please die. Please die. Please die, Persora. Ow. I don't like how my chair is, like, slowly pushing me forward. You know, to be fair, at the very least, the Nesse team's got a very nice shade of green for their ink, and I'm dead from somehow.
That's true. It's not booger.
Yeah, it should have been the freaking green they used at the Pokemon Splatfest instead of that really weird color they used.
Splatoon green is always weird. That was a weird sentence. In Splatoon, the green ink colors that they use are always really gross. But
Yeah,
they actually
true.
picked a kind of nice one this time.
Oh god!
Yeah.
Bro, I was right in the cum zone right there. Boom!
Just nothing you can do.
Doing this again.
Yeah, let's come up with a green liquid this time.
The green liquid. I only said that because I was literally... They threw the Booyah Bomb directly on me. Like, oh, I'm literally dead. I cannot survive. There's nowhere to go, but just accept my fate.
Same.
I'm just...
Yeah, I was right next to you, so I was just like, well...
Right, at least you kind of had a... Oh, not again. You frick out of here. Okay.
Maybe if I was already moving, I could have gotten out, but, like, I don't know, man. I booked it, and I still didn't make it.
This feels like the Nickelodeon colors.
Yeah.
It's a good green and a good orange.
So, are these entire... I know it's hard to say what I'm talking about when in the chaos of Splatoon, but the trucks, are those like square platforms in front of the base, just trucks? Because I never noticed that before.
Yes, those have always been trucks.
Because they don't have wheels. Like, it throws me off, you know?
They do, I think. Yeah, they do, but wait, do they? I can't see. I need to get a gutter
There's
look.
one in the back.
Not in the back. I think they have wheels in the front.
No, in the front they do, but in the back they don't. So
yeah, I don't know. I guess the Splatoon world has two-wheel cars? I don't know.
Old Aerospray, baby. Something.
Ah. Once again, foiling my evil counterparts.
I can't tell.
Have we lost
I think
that
we
one?
lost.
Yeah, we lost.
Yeah,
that one.
that's not a victory.
The Nickelodeon gack.
The gack.
Ectoplasm.
Gosh, I remember when freaking Nickelodeon used to have really cool merch when I was a kid. Like they really went all in on their cool kid branding.
Yeah.
And then then they got boring, like every other freaking network did.
Like like everything else.
Everything else, it got boring after the 90s.
I remember the Nickelodeon slime. It was weird.
Yeah. That was an interesting era, early 2000s.
That was back when the freaking Kids' Choice Awards used to be fun to watch, and then it's like then it just became garbage, like a lot of other things on TV.
The Kids' Choice Awards.
Hello, Aowen. I see you over there.
Why do I feel like as I've grown up, I've gotten less of an opinion?
Well, you have become less of a kid as time has passed.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, well, I mean, not on that specific topic.
Oh.
I mean, just like in general.
I don't know.
Less of a say in things.
I think it's more so just like people put other people's opinions and thoughts under much more scrutiny than they used to because of the internet.
Ah, frick,
Maybe.
my head.
Frick the internet.
Dang.
Say that, I love the internet.
The internet brings both joy and pain. It's up to you to decide which is which. Oh,
Damn.
yo, the other stage!
Huzzah!
Huzzah.
Hopefully we don't crash.
They're on a 2-win streak.
Oh yeah, we were here when the new music tried playing.
And now we're back to the classics, baby. The song will never get old. I'm honestly tempted to call it the best Splatoon battle theme ever. But Kirby Chips and 2 is really good.
Oh, what the heck is that? Oh. Look out! Balloons!
Just hold it on.
James Tower defense.
Oh god, the raining
No.
special's down on me.
Oh, there's a guy! Jeez.
Holy fish paste! It's a guy!
Yeah, I know, that's what I thought too, even though it was totally unintentional. But I was just firing into an ink strike and I got hit markers.
I don't really.
I
Oh.
was like, what the heck? There's a guy in there.
I almost cussed.
I almost caught it on film. Almost caught Sora in 4K.
I'm pretty
Get
sure
outta
we did cuss
here!
Once or twice last fest.
Oh god.
I think we all did.
I don't know. I mean,
Holy fish paste! It's a guy.
oh, I couldn't get out of the way with the ball.
Dude, I've been doing a ton of editing on that Pokemon compilation these last couple days, and I've used so many SpongeBob clips.
Oh god, yeah, I saw you mention that the other day. I completely forgot you had even said that.
I'm starting to get SpongeBob brain rot. Among other things. Actually, a lot of memes. Yeah, never mind. Just a lot of things.
I can't wait to see it. Get back here.
I think I'm getting burned out again. I might have to take another 3-month vacation.
Get back here and face me like a man! I love that the only thing that the Game Freak fixes with that buggy game is the things that people that are not the actual bugs, but the exploits. All the exploits have been patched out, but all the bugs are still there. Like the raid battles are still completely awful.
Yeah, they
My
only get rid of the
brain
fun stuff.
Me and my sister hit so many problems when we tried to do raid battles together without going online, because it's the only way I can assure that we'll both get the same raid lobby.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Dude, they're just everywhere.
Yeah, they got that.
Oh, frick me. This is just devastating. This is... I don't... there's not even lag involved here. This is just bad. Straight up not.
New special. Is there a way to beat it?
The what?
My
The
brain
new
is
special?
not working.
Yeah. Or maybe it's returning. I don't know. I heard it was back from 1.
Oh, the Kraken. Yeah, I have absolutely no idea how to stop that one yet. I'm still learning.
Awesome.
The little airborne
So
bubble
it's just
thing.
another hammer then.
I think it's weak.
I think it's less effective in terms of speed than the hammer, but like and speed and range. But like, I think its whole bit is that it's kind of indestructible. I mean, it might not be. I haven't actually lived long enough to actually stop it, so or try.
I lived long enough for it to end.
Maybe if you keep shooting it, it might actually break, but I really don't know if that's how it works.
I'm using a roller.
Well, the Kraken kind of just functions as a roller, essentially, so...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure its main weakness would probably be a normal roller. However, since I do not have a normal roller, it is kinda screwy.
Well, the Flings is a strong enough roller that you can usually KO a Squid Kid in one hit.
Yeah, but the thing is, they were just bouncing all over the place. I could not stop them.
I think that's kind of supposed to be their design. They're supposed to be, like, unstoppable. They were, in the first game, they were completely invincible. But they also, in the first game, they were broken because they moved as quick as you normally do in the ink. Like, these ones in this game, they move at slow motion, and you can only squid surge to really get a boost of speed. But, like, in the first game, they just flew around at full speed. It was a terrifying thing. Back in the first game, specials were actually damaging and devastating.
Well, we're back on this stuff again.
The Come Zone returns.
Watch my language.
I miss all the Splatoon 1 specials. A lot of the Splatoon 1 specials got reworked in this game, though. But, like, they're all just shadows of their former self. Like, the Killer Whale originally was in Splatoon 1, and that was just one steady shockwave that flew in one direction, and, like, it never moved. But, like, it was almost a one-hit. This game is triple aim strike.
Now you're all wrong. Except for the 10 missiles, which are on the 2 buttons.
Yeah, the 10 missiles are on... Except for the Flingza, the 10 missiles aren't on anything good.
Yeah.
Some people like the bow, but I feel like some people mostly like the bow because of the 10 missiles. And like the original game's Ink Strike was actually super good, but also super kind of broken. Like triple Ink Strike's okay, but like regular Ink Strike was literally like when you have it charged up, just look at the gamepad, point where you want your Ink Strike, and that's it. That's all you had to do was tap on the map where you wanted the bomb to go off. It was so good. Someone else in the other team also disconnected. Oh, 2 people in your team are disconnected. So if the match holds together... Oh, God. Oh, no. It's me and one person against one other one. So Sora's gone. I have to wonder, bro, how did this match still running? Dude, dude, you didn't have to go that hard on him, bro. You gave up. The dude was just jumping and dancing, and the roller that's still here just ran him over with no mercy. I'm like, bro, he surrendered. He can't win.
Oh no! I would have spared him.
I was going. He's up there just jumping now. I'm gonna jump.
Like, y'all want to try out the table turf?
We can. I guess we can. You, dude. CC's kind of being a no funsy. He's just trying to kill him up there. I'm just kind of watching. I just sit here. I'm just gonna sit here and just take the dub. But CC just literally wants this one kid's blood. Yeah.
I've created a table turf room.
Dude, Sora, your table turf, you and table turf are like Ramirez and Dune.
This is hilarious. This is not sportsmanship at all, but it's funny.
What did you say, Ice?
Oh, okay, that was funny.
I said you and table turf are like Ramirez and Dune.
Okay. First of all,
we can try it. I don't mind. Ow!
I'm not as bad as Ramirez and Dune. Like, I don't bring it up every single time.
Watch Sora come up in the next stream. It's not even Splatoon. Like, hey, table turf guys, have you heard about my Lord and Savior table turf battle? Sora said, I say pick a god and pray. I pray to the god of table turf.
No, my god is the god of the void.
So it's nothing. Okay.
Pretty much.
Can you play with more? Oh, you can't play with more than one. I'll join Sora then. I'll try it out. I haven't tried it out with people yet. haven't really built decks.
Upstairs, Rim. Upstairs.
I guess I'll look for that jukebox now.
Have a seat.
Ice says like, nah, I ain't gonna do this.
I don't know
You're
how.
not even gonna
Where do I need to
deserve
go?
Ice.
It's in the lobby.
Where
You
do
just
I
kind
go?
of join Sora's lobby. Oh, you only do 2 at a time. Okay.
You have to pay to use the jukebox, bro.
Bro, it's just 100 gold, and it stays playing until you leave the lobby. Or until you change it again.
Still dumb though, is the thing.
True. I think it's kind of the idea of it's just like.
There is such a thing as being 290s.
I guess, but like
some ideas were left behind for a reason. Not all of them, but
let's see.
Oh, what is this music?
But like, when are you never gonna have 10 gold on your possession in this game?
It's 100.
Sorry, 100. Sora, get out of here! You're not welcome here.
Yes, this is what we needed. Competition between our teammates. The infighting has begun.
I'm invading his space.
Right.
Hear me.
Sora did not hear about the laws of consent.
This is this is the beginning of a revolution, and here's some incentive. The loser gets me on their side.
Crap, I actually haven't.
Bet you want to win now, huh?
Sora, stop taking my spots!
We're just going at the same spots over and over and over
I feel like
again.
I'm terrible at spectating because I have no idea what's going on. Oh, yep, those sure. Yo, Harmony! Alright, let's see where these squares are gonna go. And they went there. Cool.
Oh god.
That's a scrapper.
I'm running out of real estate, bruh.
Try Stinger. And that's a card. I guess the back of a card. And there's the cards. And now the squares are happening.
Now the squares are happening.
Kind of looks like Tetris when you squint real hard. I have no idea. I'm not even. Special attack. It didn't look very special. Okay.
No. Where can I put this?
That one kind of looks like a skull.
Will this work?
That is not how you hold a sword, dude.
To be honest, I used the wrong deck, but oh well.
You have
That's my own
multiple
fault.
decks.
Yeah.
You can build decks, yes. There's a lot of gameplay to it for a game that it doesn't really get used.
I know,
much.
but Sora says they're not like super into it, and I feel like you don't build multiple decks unless you're into it.
I only have the starter deck and one deck I built just to crush NPCs as quickly as possible.
Since when did you do that? I'm just getting that by
Who
random
won?
thing.
I did.
I couldn't tell. Bro, I'm gonna be real. You could just put a game of Tetris on the screen right now. And I wouldn't know the difference.
It took me a while to actually understand how... Can I watch?
I think we have to start a game in order for you to be able to do that.
Okay, go ahead, Ice. I'll watch you try one.
I think that's a bad idea.
Fine, I'll do it
Don't worry,
again.
I'll use the starter deck. I'll use the starter deck.
How do I
against you, Ice,
watch?
Don't worry.
I just walked up to the table and hey.
Oh, there we go. It's... Selecting decks.
Oh boy. Place your bets now. Do you choose correct or incorrect?
It took me a while to actually understand how the game actually worked. Good. But considering I was never playing against real people, I never had to learn. When I was playing against NPCs, my first thought was just go in for the chokehold as quickly as possible. Don't let them build anything. Don't let them build. Don't let them build. I actually have no idea. Oh, wait. Who am I spectating? I can't tell. I think I'm spectating Sora.
I really do just be placing things. I've played what's that game with the squares? I've played a board game that's similar to this, or from what I can tell it is. So I'm just gonna assume that it's that game and play that way because I really don't know the rules.
It's like it's not like Rick Ashley. You don't know the rules. I didn't really get it either. It's just like you kind of want to. It's kind of just like
given up.
It's essentially like Turf War, but it's like you just want to control as much of the map as you can.
I made a funny. Okay, where do I put this? I can't put it anywhere? Wait. Where can I put this?
You have to make sure you... I can't see what you're seeing, but you have to make sure your piece connects to another piece of yours actively.
It looks like it does to me.
I wish I could see. I wish I could see what you see.
I cannot help you. There. Love that.
E. Depending on what your pieces are, you have a lot more real estate to work with, though. So I did get Octopath Traveler 2, and I still have yet to be able... I've still yet to play it, though, because I'm playing it on stream.
You're not going to stream it?
Oh, yeah. I am going to stream it, but I just have to get through 3 houses first now. Now I'm just waiting.
You have to? Well, now that makes it sound like it's a... like it's a... I'm blanking. What's the word?
An obligation?
Yeah, or like a hassle.
Oh, well, yeah, I don't mean it like that. It's only going to be a hassle if I can't actually stream, and then I'm going to have to, you know, not be able to play it at all.
True.
You're doing well, Iceolate. Oh, this is not good for you. Sora, this is not good for you. But I'll get to it.
Oh, that's infuriating.
I haven't even finished editing the Octopath episodes yet anyway, so I should probably get to that too. Especially if I can't freaking stream. I don't know if that'll stay active.
Is there a timer?
There must not be, because good grief. I feel like if there was a timer, it would have timed you out already.
Probably, yeah.
Trusty bucket. Yo, Sora's going for it. Well, it worked, though. Dude, the freaking... Oh, you can't see it yet, Ice, because Sora hasn't put it down yet. Oh, you saw it. The freaking bowler hat on the squid, though, is clean. It looks cute on the art. Dang, good job, Ice. Your first...
I forgot I had a special attack. How do you do that?
You get those little squares. You see where those squares start glowing?
I think I know what you mean.
You can charge up your special by getting more of those, and you get more of those by. I found out the hard way. You have to surround that block with colored blocks, and then it starts to glow. It's really weird, but like once you realize, oh, if I block it in, then I get special attack and whatnot. It took me forever to figure that out, though, because it's like it didn't matter because when you're playing against
the charges.
Yeah.
Oh my god, my freaking headphones decided to unplug themselves, so I was speaking to myself the whole entire time.
Yeah, I wondered why you were so quiet.
I figured you were in like protagonist mode or something.
No,
like you were just
I was speaking to myself the whole entire time, apparently.
Wow.
You were not the whole time, because you.
So, this is a really important question. Are you allowed to play the game in squid mode? Like, can you have your character just sit there as a squid instead of as a person?
I wish.
Darn.
I'm going to. Oops, wrong button. I'm going to
open.
open.
Closing this room.
I'm going to open another room for Splatfest. I might play more card battles when I'm not recording. But
Maybe I'll actually use one of my good decks next time.
I haven't really. That's the thing. I never bothered building the decks for any real thing. Mostly because since you're always playing against the AI and they don't play well, it's like it doesn't really require you to think too much. All you really have to do is block off the enemy's approach quickly, and then it's like you win. You win like in 3 or 4 turns if you have the right pieces. So one of my decks is entirely just big and long pieces, entirely designed just to choke off the enemy instantly.
Ooh,
and it's like, oh,
big, long, and designed to choke. You gotta choose your words better, buddy.
To be fair, you know, it's kind of... It goes right back to standard Splatoon gameplay. Just take control of a choke point and let your enemy not have any fun. That's how it works. The same premise works in the card battle, at least on certain stages.
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, this is probably gonna be my last game. Because this migraine's just not stopping.
Completely understandable.
Understandable.
Have you tried drinking tea?
I don't like tea. It tastes weird.
First of all, L. Second of all, fair.
Like, how can you say it's an L but be alright? That's an L, but I.
Coffee or tea. I gotta stick with the hot chocolate.
I mean, hot chocolate.
Because I didn't mean it. It's like obviously if you're having a migraine, you're not just gonna ooh drink some tea and it'll all be better. Like
I mostly just drink sweet tea, which is not really.
Say that. People act
I've only been drinking pure water. I'm probably really low on electrolytes.
Oh shoot! They have the hats.
They all have matching hats.
God, we're doomed.
We are screwed. They're a team.
We're a team too.
That is a J-pop.
So we are not coordinated at all.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. The Squid Girls are essentially just Squid version Vocaloids anyway, so...
I know, but their songs are usually, like, puns, you know? Or, like, sea-related, you know?
Right. Oh, God, that was a dynamo, wasn't it? Yeah, I had no chance of getting away from that backwards-wise.
Did you die, like, right behind me?
I didn't see you, so...
Yeah, I'm just sitting here at spawn trying to fill up with orange as much as possible.
I can safely say as well that Splatoon is definitely not a game I would play while having a migraine, because it gives me migraines. Oh God, of course.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting here with the migraine, still playing it anyways.
It's like he's like you can't resist the call of Splatoon.
I'm only playing it because y'all are playing it.
I'm only playing it because of Splatfest. I don't know if I'm gonna try hard enough to get the max the rank. I don't know. I might just say good enough at champion. I don't know. Oh, it's not like I need the shells. I just feel. I don't know. Though the idea of being a Bigfoot ruler does sound pretty tempting. I am the ruler of Bigfoot. I love how the freaking God, I can't. What the?
So many beacons.
Bro, I know they're everywhere.
Every time I turn a corner, there's a beacon. Like beacon jump scare. There's so many.
I also have determined. Oh my god, I can't leave, dude. I really hate. Dude, this goes right into the point I was just about to make. Is why is this game so toxic in terms of just its gameplay style? Like, Splatoon 2 didn't have the same problem. Splatoon 2 had its problems, but not this problem. Like, all the maps in this game are designed to be choke pointed. Every single one of them. And it's like, it's such an unfun gameplay style to have. Like, all the old...
wrong people.
It's like all the old stages that return have been redesigned to be choke pointed. They've all been done that way. And it's like, it's not fun. You can't approach in most of these maps. Like, this one is the same.
You can tell by the way they're moving, too. They're, like, so, like, min-maxed in their movements, if that makes sense.
I know what you're saying. Cause, like, clearly, we couldn't even get through. 70%! That's sweating. I'm sorry.
Like, they have their controller sensitivity turned up.
Look, dude, they're all Octos with the same eyes, with the same hat, different shoes, but that's the only thing.
You think this is the freaking oh, it's been too long. I don't remember their names, but they're the characters from No Game No Life, and they're playing like one controller per limb, like it's just one person, and they have like they're playing with their feet.
No.
That'd be hilarious.
No, don't put that back in my brain.
That would be so awesome.
Okay, I gotta stop. My brain is just killing itself.
Yours fine. Okay. You're free to hang out anyway, though.
Yeah. I'm probably just gonna hang out. I'm just gonna hang out. Just.
If I felt like my computer wouldn't die right now with the internet trying to screen share to Discord, I would.
Okay.
But I feel like it won't make it.
Oh, what? You can't use the jukebox when you're in a lobby? That sucks.
But I just truly just don't like Splatoon 3's gameplay direction. It's like the developers clearly had an intention of how they wanted to design the stages and how they chose which ones were which. And it's like you can't do anything about it. They have chosen to adopt this gameplay style of toxic center / chokehold control. And it's like, I used to think it was annoying when people kept saying, "Oh, you gotta ink the mid, leave the base, ink the mid." I'm like, and I realize now, it's because the game has literally changed its gameplay style. So the old style of gameplay doesn't really work the same anymore. Like, sure, it's still important to ink the base, but it's like they've made it so much like that. Your success or failure in a match depends on if you get choke pointed or not, which is why I hate Sturgeon's Shipyard. Like, I hate it worse in this game. I hated it before because of the same choke point style gameplay that it encouraged in Splatoon 2. But now the whole game is built off of that bad mechanic. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Because you can't just turn your brain off and just have some fun with Splatoon. You have to be trying hard every time. And it's exhausting to play this game now for me.
It's sad because well, not because, but just it's kind of like another ironic part of it is that the first game, so much of its identity was like, it's not like all those other shooter games, and now it is.
Yeah, it really is.
It's just become competitive, like metagame, and like,
oh, frick me.
Like just ruthless, like exploiting of the mechanics.
Right, and it's like, it shows because there were, like, the same guns are now, like, it's been in the game since the beginning, like, every game's metagame of what guns worked have changed every game. Like, in the first game, really anything that just gave high coverage and good ink consumption was a good gun. Like, splatter shots, arrow sprays, all that. Splatoon 2, more of that, but like also utilizing your specials correctly or your sub weapons correctly, but still mostly focusing on just coverage. This game, it's like as much it's highly offensive. So it's like if you're like back in the day, if you had a weapon that wasn't like a good ink consumption and wasn't a good shooter, your weapon was trash in Splatoons 1 and 2. Like, brushes weren't very good back then because of that kind of thing. Now it's just, like, high offense. It's like, why worry about turfing when you can just literally just kill your enemies over and over? So it's given the rise to the Splatlings and the snipers now. That's the new metagame weapons. Though apparently I'm told the current metagame weapon is the Sploosh-O-Matic, which I don't understand how that works. But it's like almost like if you don't have a Splatling or a sniper on your team and the enemy has them, it's almost like give up because it's such an unhealthy gameplay style. Oh, okay. I didn't realize there was a hammer in our base.
I backed up and then pulled up the hammer, and then I just...
Yeah, he put the hammer down, and I didn't like it.
I mean, you know, like always, I hit the shoot button anyways, but it didn't work.
It's just a shame that the game is devolved into that because it doesn't feel fun anymore. It just feels like ultra competitive. It's like that was one of the reasons why I liked Splatoon in the first place. That like it was like one of those
that isn't super competitive.
Exactly.
It's like the only one of its kind.
Yes, and now it's ultra competitive now. It's even like Splatoon 2 was slowly drifting more into a competitive player base, but most of its player base was still more relaxed and just didn't try that hard. But like Splatoon 3, it's just like how much can we crush your soul?
It was pretty rare to get into a lobby of like that last match, a lobby of people who are super coordinated and trying super hard.
Exactly, because no one tried that hard.
Turned out.
No one tried that hard back in the day because it's like it wasn't fun to try that hard. And now it's like they're all here. The Splatoon, that's what happens when the game becomes too much of a normie game. It's like it brings in more sweats. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
Like here.
I don't know how they do it. Like I guess I just can't really understand it. I'm trying to like wrap my head around, you know, like the thought of deriving fun from being super try hard at Splatoon 3, and it's like it's just not a sound equation in my head, you know.
Yeah, like Splatoon is not a game that I contribute to being try-hardy energy with, but like here we are.
Yeah, but everybody else does, and it's like why?
Yeah, it's like because it's an online competitive game, and it's like gaming seems to try to move towards that, and that's the thing. In my opinion, when it comes to gaming, it's so unhealthy for you because it just keeps you in that mental state of ultra high competition all the time. It's like that's kind of what I liked about Splatoons 1 and 2, and back then. The only sweats you'd get were in the competitive modes, like the ranked battles, or, you know, the Splatfests, when everyone comes out to play. So you're obviously going to run into the tryhards eventually, because you're all playing. The competitions bring everybody out. But, like, even when there's no Splatfest, I'll come and try and play just casually, and everyone plays for keeps casually now, even in standard turf war. It's like, they didn't come to play, they came to win. It's like, I feel like I have a hard time trying to experiment with new weapons now. That's why I'm back on the 52 again, because if I try to take the time to experiment with a different weapon, I'm gonna get freaking caked.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I get tired of, and then it's like I get tired of playing the same weapon.
Anyways, but like, you know, I totally agree with that though.
It's also like the game.
I've been experimenting with weapons pretty much every Splatfest we play together.
I've been trying to a little bit too. Like it's like you gotta be able to build gear sets and stuff. And it's like you have to.
But I always just end up coming back to the sploosh, or not the sploosh.
The bucket.
The bucket, because I get sick of losing.
Right.
And it makes me feel like I have a chance of winning when I use the bucket.
Right, it's kind of how I feel about it, but when I start off with my best weapon and then I just suck, I'm like, oh, well, it's over. Like, I want to try and get good with, like, say, the Splatanas, but it's like it's such a high skill based weapon, and it's like I don't play for keeps enough to be properly good with it, and it's a shame because that's like it's a fun weapon, but like when everyone is playing that ultra hard, it's like it's hard to tell when the weapon sucks or when I suck, or when you're just or when you're just completely outmatched. That's kind of why like when I play Fortnite, it's like it's a competitive mode, but it's also like it matches you to people of your skill level, so you're not out here going against people you have no chance of beating. Like sometimes that still happens, but like it feels more balanced. And it's like, how is it that this game gets it right, but the multi-billion-dollar legacy gaming companies can't seem to get it right? But then again, Nintendo's always been behind on that.
Yeah.
It's like, Splatoon could be that, but like I can't... They're like, why do that when they could just easily not, and they don't have to worry about it? Like, they're just, you know... Like, they had to freaking change how stages were designed, but like, to account to stop the sniper spam. Like, sniper spam was all over the place. I've been playing the games casually in between the Splatfests, and it's like, sniper meta is so nasty. They had to create obstacles so snipers couldn't just sit from a perch and control the battlefield forever. Because that's what was happening. I mean, it still kind of happens. Like they didn't... Because if you go too far one direction, then, you know, then it's no fun to even be a sniper at all. Because then you can't play it at all. Like, if they make it so that you can't shoot anything, then what's the point of having it in the first place?
Well, that's kind of how it used to be.
True.
Until they buffed them.
No one ever really played the snipers, and now they're just like... They're too good. Every time they make more stages, I'm just exhausted by how freaking the same all they are. It's like, that's what it feels like. All these stages, almost gameplay-wise, are the same, for the exception of just like it looks different, but they play the same.
I get that.
They all have essentially the same kind of choke point holds, and it's like they're all designed that way. Like, not all the stages back in the day were designed that way, and it's like, I think it's unhealthy for it to be that for, like, I don't mind if it's for some of the maps, then you can just choose not to play those maps, or just not play during those rotations. But, like, it's like all the stages they've picked and brought back are only the ones that can be choke pointed, and they changed the stages to make that more encouraged, and I don't get it. It's like, I don't know why the developers think that's a fun gameplay style to have. It's like, sure, but that's the thing. It's like, that's the point. It's almost like if you were to play Smash Brothers, and it's like, sure, you have all these different stages, but what's the point if they all just look different, but they play exactly the same? You might as well just have one stage, and that's be it.
But that's what people wanted.
But then it's different when you have a game like Splatoon, where it's like, part of the gameplay is adjusting your gameplay style to the terrain so that one strategy doesn't work everywhere, but instead they went with one strategy works on every single stage.
It's just
it's pain. Life is pain. Uh-oh.
I feel like I could sum up the entire argument with just Splatoon is just turning into Overwatch. Like, you know, you've been talking for like 5 minutes now, and I feel like everything you said could also be applied to Overwatch. It was so beautiful, and then they ruined it.
Right, exactly.
It was like a competitive shooter that was fun. And it's not being fun.
It's like it perfectly sums up that one scene from Breaking Bad where the guy is like, we had a good thing going, and you just had to mess it up with your pride and your ego. I don't know if anyone else knows that. I only recently learned what that was. But I'm like, man, that meme fits so many situations. It's like, we had a good thing going. You just had to throw it all away. It's like Nintendo's competitive games. It's like they're not satisfied unless their game is taken competitively seriously. Otherwise, it's just a quote unquote kids game. And I would tell you, no, this game is by no means a kid's game. It's just a cartoony game.
Yeah, it's just it's really gross, and I'm seeing that kind of mindset all over the place. Where like you can't enjoy you have to separate like.
Right.
I'm going in so many different directions with my statements, but it's like people are always saying like, you know, if something can be enjoyed by kids, it's for kids, and it's not for adults.
Yeah, I hate that.
No, you know, kids like cartoons. It's like there have been cartoons for adults. Like you can't.
Exactly.
Show Rick and Morty to like your son and daughter, and,
right?
Like, or South Park, or like. There's just a million. I can't even come up with examples because there's just so many of them.
No, I get it. I understand that entirely. And then when you have something that looks like it's geared towards kids or easy for kids to access, then it shapes those kids too. Like kids that think this is a kid's game, they're just gonna be freaking slowly molded into sweaty gamers that they don't play for fun. They play for glory. It's like Smash Bros. It's like for fun and for glory. It's like
They could have turned into gamers, but instead they're going to turn into what people who hate gamers think gamers are.
Yeah. That's a really weirdly accurate way to put that. It's like it sounded like a mouth typo, but no, it entirely makes sense when you take a second and think about what you just said.
It's really sad. And so we.
Which is weird because honestly, it's like for example, like maybe it's also just partially due to the fact that I just suck. It's like just a skill issue thing. Like maybe I only am not having fun because it's a skill issue. For the same thing as like I can go online and play Smash Brothers online, and I feel like even if I'm outclassed, at the very least, it doesn't feel like I'm getting trounced. I feel like I'm still in it at all times. And it's
that was an insane last second push, by the way.
It was. That was actually a victory, and it was a good one. And it was like at least with Smash,
we evenly matched there. I enjoyed
if that was a match where it felt like everything was even.
Okay, sorry to interrupt.
Oh no, you're fine. It's weird how I'm okay with like the competitive nature with like Smash Brothers, for example, but I feel like when that one, it's like it doesn't really feel like it's all about how you play in that situation. It's like. Either you play trash or you play well, but it's like even if the skill gap is different, you can still do well because it's like if you fundamentally know how to play. And then it's like in those type of situations, it feels fun to kind of push yourself to actually try to be better than somebody else. But like I don't get that same thing in Splatoon. It just feels like it's becoming another one of those multiplayer shooters that just pushes toxicity rather than positivity. Like one of the things I noticed that they changed, and I think it's like a subtle thing just to kind of keep you angry, to keep you playing, is like when you lose now, you don't see your characters losing, you see the enemy team winning, and it just drives you up the wall. Like a subtle little thing. I feel like it's designed that way to be annoying on purpose. Also, this is the new stage.
Oh, really?
Which I think I only have seen like once or twice so far. Is this? Oh, that is actually the stage. That is not a falling gap. I thought that was the...
I've made that mistake like 3 times already since this match started.
Like, is that ground?
I'm like,
oh,
wait
God.
a second.
Stupid balloons.
I can't go there.
Oh, God.
I can go there.
You got freaking brushed, son.
Alright, these guys are tryhards. I can already tell. I swear, I get killed, and then I just observe the person who killed me, and I can tell by the way they move that they're a tryhard.
Oh, God. Okay, yeah. I got freaking tryharded by a big swig roller, and those things are not good at killing. And the fact that I just got killed by one, yeah, this is already going to be an unfun match, I can tell.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess
you want to squid dance in the middle? If we can even get to the middle.
I don't think we're going to be allowed to exit the base again. This is what I mean. Yeah. See, it's just more freaking...
I just tried. No! Oh, no! Oh, my gosh! Oh, that was hilarious. Okay, so I tried to make peace with them, and they all immediately like ganged up and killed me, right? But then one of them, like 3 of them went back to, you know, shedding blood. And one of them just like had regrets. Like he noticed that I was trying to be nice, and he walked off the edge and killed himself.
Oh god.
He was like, the 3 of them were like, nice, free kill. And the one guy was like, what have I done?
What have I done?
That was so funny.
Honestly, I look at this weapon setup and I...
If you see the roller, he's kill, apparently.
Dude, no, the roller is the one who keeps killing me over and over.
Oh, really?
Dude, I'm being thirsted by him. That's what I mean. Like, I've died to him at least 3 times already.
Well, why did he kill himself then?
I have no idea. I didn't squid dance for him. That could be part of it.
Maybe he could.
I didn't dance for my life.
That's probably
Dance if you want to live.
Dancing for my life.
I don't want to live if I have to dance. Oh god, I'm being chased. Oh no.
Oh, he's being cool. He's being cool.
No, bro. Oh,
Friendship
dude,
wins.
this match is like 100% in their control. Oh god, dude, this. I absolutely think I don't like this new special with the giant like air raid of bubbles or whatever there are.
We had so much fun, dude. We were dancing for like 20 seconds and then his teammates showed up.
Bro, I tried to dance for the sploosh and he just like, nah, bump you. It murder-nates you.
Evil. Lucius killed me like 6 times. Oh, that was great.
Dude, that is... Well, you got to sort of see some of the new map. Okay, see, 74%.
I found the light in the darkness.
Oh my god. Like, look, I feel like if your match ends in the 40s or 50s, with the enemy is like, you know, it was a fair match, it was evenly matched. If the enemy gets like 60% to 40, to me that just says that...
Unless there's just like a massive blowout at the end.
Yeah, I feel like if it's 60-40, they just kind of played better than you, but like it wasn't like out of the realm of possibility. I feel like anything 70 plus, they are sweating on you. That was a decimation.
I feel like once you hit 70, that's like,
bro.
Maybe we should. Maybe if there was proper matchmaking, we wouldn't have fought each other.
Right. It's what I mean. It's like,
you know.
And I think I can't, in my brain, I can't play this game hyper coordinated like that. To me, that just doesn't feel like fun.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to do this.
POV, you're any of the enemy team, and I'm coming towards you. Oh, shooters. They always do this. Actually, a lot of games. It's just games in general are doing this now.
True.
But I feel like Splatoon has really, man, it's like the first game was like, well, yeah, it's kind of a shooter, I guess. But this game is like, no, it's a shooter. You can tell. Like, it just has that energy. People are, you know, the people on the enemy team, they want you dead. They don't want to have fun.
Exactly. They're not here for fun. And that's what bothers me too. The first game was still about fun. It's like the first game
stopped being a Nintendo game, but then again, it feels like no Nintendo game is a Nintendo game anymore.
Yeah, it's like mass murder of the enemy team in the first game really wasn't the way to victory like it is now. I think it's because the death punishment is probably worse now than it used to be. Maybe it's not, and it's just because it didn't feel like people played the same way, but people just play hyper aggressively now. It's like you can't have an off day in this game without being punished for it. And it just feels like I'm just doing like complaining about this game, and I kind of am.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you though, Splatfest used to be completely miserable back when you couldn't pair up with friends.
Yeah, back in 1 when they had the worst idea of all time.
Despite the fact you could still matchmake with friends in standard matchmaking. but yeah, they just decided Splatfest, you don't get to do that. Maybe was them to try to combat being ultra competitive and just getting a team and doing it, but it's like...
Yeah, I feel like that's probably the best explanation.
But
it's still not a good one.
It's not a good one, no. It's really not. It's like, I don't know who... And they could have fixed that with patches or something later on. They just chose not to.
Yeah, that's like such an easy patch.
I would feel like it would be, yeah. Just like enable friend matchmaking.
All you have to really code in is another button to click.
Right? Just a party
like
option.
In the menu. Just because, like, you know, there's already a friend's option.
Right. That tells me they went out of their way to remove options.
I think that's so silly. Just, like, even laziness isn't an excuse anymore. It's like, the button's already there.
Right, you took it away on purpose. Oh man, they're pushing back.
And laziness is like the worst excuse, and yet even that is no longer valid.
True, because now we exist in an era where you, oh my god, where you can fix it at any point.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able, oh man.
Which is, unfortunately, just as much of a drawback as it is.
Oh my god! I keep getting spawn camped.
The age of live service games, as we all know, is just, I feel like I don't even need to go into it. It's just as bad as it is good.
Live service games are awful, in my opinion.
Patches, well, okay, I just meant, like, man, that was so close.
Well, the nature of live service games are awful. Not necessarily live service games themselves.
Well, yeah, because, like, you know, the devs can have more influence, and it's like, that's nice, but they always get greedy with it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Why can't we just have someone with a heart of gold running the ship, you know?
I think we used to.
Why can't we just have Jeff from the Overwatch team like 5 years ago or whenever he got fired?
Or back where our previous two presidents of Nintendo.
Yes.
Reggie and Anuma is his name? The president of Japan. I feel like Nintendo really took a nosedive in terms of customer quality after they both left. Well, after one left and the other passed away. The new Nintendo, I mean, it kind of makes sense for Nintendo to be going down the dark path when their president is literally named Bowser now.
Yeah. Good old Bug Bowser.
Freaking exactly. He doesn't even do anything in the directs anymore. Reggie was there every direct in some way or another. This new guy's only showed up once. He's like, I don't care.
He was an icon.
They just have a translator from the Japanese directs. They don't do anything extra anymore.
Do you remember when you first saw the Mii Fighter trailer for Smash Bros?
Gosh, I don't.
And it was an actual. They actually like filmed like a fight between Reggie and Miyamoto.
I have seen that video, and I see the meme all the time with Reggie fighting. I can't remember, but it's like I feel. They don't do fun stuff like that anymore.
I saw that live, and that was like I'm buying this game. Like it was just so cool, and it was like you know you can't do that in the game, and I'm like, I don't care. They went to the effort to do that. That's badass.
Exactly. That's effort was put in. I pay for effort.
It was cool. That's all that matters. It was people looking like they were having fun, and they wanted us to have fun.
I swear, Mii's had never reached their peak like they did in the 3DS and Wii U era, honestly. Yeah. Mii's are slept on nowadays.
They fell off.
Well, it's less that they fell off and more like Nintendo fell off.
Well, that's what I meant, yeah.
Oh, right, yeah,
Nintendo stopped caring about them.
It's like the Mii's still have a lot of... Like, honestly, you can tell they feel like they didn't have faith in the Mii's anymore when freaking Nintendo Switch Sports is released and Mii's are like an afterthought. for their new creepy-looking child-like avatars, which I don't think anybody really liked.
Yeah.
Especially when they're just like, just do them easy.
Your profile picture with I don't know. I don't know why I do, honestly.
Like, honestly, I was hoping this year we were gonna get like a Tomodachi announcement or something. Like, you know what? Like, I was hoping that Miitopia was the re-release was gonna do so well that it would revitalize, you know. But like, Nintendo is just full of bad. Nintendo is just full of bad decisions nowadays, or just decisions they think that are good ones, but they won't listen to reason. Like, I love the reasoning as to why Zelda is $70 is essentially because we know you'll buy it. Because we go through a price check on all games and determine whether or not they fit what prices. And like, so you mean to tell me that Zelda is going to be so far above like all the other quality, or you're just saying our other games won't sell as well if we put them too expensive, basically. Yeah. Like, you're trying to tell me that you don't feel confident in your other products that make them $70? It's such a money grab. Doug Bowser is a tool, honestly. Like, bro, he says that, I'm like, bro, that's not it, man.
That's cap, dude.
Yeah, it is. It's stop the cap, Mr. Bowser.
Yep.
We're not falling for it. We're forced to buy it anyway if we want to play it, but we don't buy your garbage.
We'll buy your garbage, but we don't buy your garbage.
Right, right. Exactly. Yeah. Also, I want to say that new special where it shoots all the freaking super jump decoys, that thing was so overhyped. It's so bad in actual practice.
Is it?
It's like, sure, it's a really good coverage special, but the problem with it is that it's supposed to deter you from spawn camping. But, like, when you see 30 show up on the map, everyone knows you're not going to be super jumping. Like, it's not helpful. I thought it was going to be like a sub-weapon that you throw like a bomb, and it does, like, the ink landing thing, but instead, it just lands with, like, say, an ink bomb splat or something.
Mm-hmm.
Not something that's easily...
If it was just one, that sounds like it might be useful.
Yeah.
But people would probably figure out a talent and, you know, be able
right.
to
I mean, you'd figure it out eventually, but, like, it would blend in more than actually, you know, if you see one, and you don't know someone's throwing it, you don't know if it's going to be a bomb. But when you see 10 of them show up on the map, you know it's a special, and you know to avoid it. You're not going to think, oh, if I stand here and spawn camp them, I'm going to get them. Because even if you were to sit there and do that, and
get them all,
and it was a bomb, then you'd shoot the bomb and defuse it. It's like, oh, if you shoot the bomb, it explodes, so it doesn't even deter you from anything.
I thought it did work that way. Wait, really?
Yeah, if you shoot them after they land, you can. It basically destroys them and they get defused. Oh. I
thought if you shot them, they blew up right away. That's even worse.
Yeah, no, they only blow up. Here we go. Case in point. Speak of the devil. Yeah, see. You can render their special completely null and void if you just shoot them in time. Okay, and then their special...
I just realized another... Just from that example right there, I just realized another massive weakness with it. Because I didn't even... No, wait. Brain no working. Hold on. Okay, brain... Okay, come on, brain. Okay, so I realized another huge problem with it, which is that I didn't even like see that there were multiple. I just saw one,
right?
And I went to go towards it, and then my brain, took the wheel for a second, and I was like, hold on, who are they jumping to? There's no one here. There's no beacon.
Yeah,
There's no reason for there to be a jump point here.
Yeah, it landed in our ink. That's not how that works.
Yeah. Like, even if you only see one, you can't jump to just an empty space on the map. You have to jump to a person, and there was no person there. So it's like, I didn't even see multiple of them. I was
it's like
our base, and I only saw one pop up in front of me.
It's a great idea.
I instantly caught on.
It's a great idea that is so completely underwhelming, it's not even effective. Because it doesn't deter you from anything. You're still going to spawn camp. Like, it does if you look at the little jump point rings on them. They do list the other players' names at random. But, like, that's not going to trick you. It's not going to work. I'm not here falling for it. Oh, yo. Especially because they're so close together. If they were spread out more, maybe that would be more effective. But they're all right in one spot. So you're obviously going to know someone's there. The only thing that would be surprising is if you jumped with it. Then that can throw you off guard because you're not expecting a person, and then you get shot. Like a reverse spawn camp. But you can't do that either. Yeah. If you had the choice to jump into the fray of your special, that could add another layer of effectiveness to it. But instead, it's just a cheap version of Ink Strike that's not nearly as devastating.
I was like, before this match started, I was like, it's a good coverage. You know, it can get you some ink on the ground. But now I'm like, wow, it's just worthless.
Yeah, it's pretty bad because if the whole team decides to pop the bubbles, then their special has been completely wasted and it did nothing but distract them for a few moments. Also, I can't tell if this is a victory or defeat.
Me either.
I don't think it was that close, or that far away, but
yeah, it felt neck and neck.
Yeah, I don't like that new special.
That emote's still really cool.
The crouch one?
No, the one Lightning did.
Oh. Your mommy ruins. Your mommy.
Yo, mama.
Oh boy.
But hey, if anyone by any chance is somehow listening to this and is wondering if there are any good shooting games left out there in the world, Deep Rock Galactic goes on sale for like $10.
Wait, what it does?
Deep Rock Galactic.
Deep Rock Galactic? I've never heard of that.
It's like the only... It's like my favorite shooter game of all time. It's just really fun.
I've never heard of it before. I'll have to look at that.
It's not big. It's not popular. The devs don't have a ton of money, but
sometimes that's just the recipe for success.
Yeah.
I think that used to be what Warframe was, and then it just became popular.
And then it got popular, and it was like
when anything gets popular, it kind of
oops. I fell off. A friend of mine tried to get me into Warframe. And this was like back in like 2018, so it wasn't even that bad yet.
Right.
And even then, I was like, dude, this is just grind fest the game. And it's gotten even worse.
There are people that honestly, I feel like those type of games that are just filled with grind fest stuff, are just built for games built for people that truly just want to have one game to pass their time with, that they enjoy the aesthetic of and don't mind spending tons of time doing monotonous chore stuff.
Just the opposite. They want to waste time.
That's what I mean. You want to waste time. It's like kind of like what.
The longer the game, the higher they rate it.
It's kind of like how Tang values video games by how much time of yours they can waste. And I'm like, that's such a terrible metric of judging of whether or not a game is worth your time and money.
Yeah.
I like it. To me, that's a hot take. I'm like if you don't have a lot of money to spend, like free games that have that much content in them can be really good. But if you're also a full-grown adult with a job and real responsibilities, you don't have time to do your busybody time wasting. And then people that, prey on you like, oh, you can do that by paying for it. I'm like, that's just predatory. I don't want to support games that they make a free way to waste your time and a convenient way to save your time, but costing you more money already. I'm like, look, you already got my money once. Isn't that enough? It's never enough.
I don't understand it. I never understood it with Warframe either. Because I have, obviously, for that game, it's not a lot, but I have a decent chunk of playtime with it. I was like, okay, I'll try it out for a while. I don't remember exactly. I'm gonna guess like 80 hours.
Oh wow, okay.
And I haven't opened it in like 2 years, so
when it
I
first
don't remember it all that well. But all this is to say, I don't understand the people who think they'll buy to pass the grind, because the entire game is the grind. There's nothing to do once you're done grinding. You know? It's
right.
one of those
no, I get
games
that.
where it's like, it's just grinding. And like, if you buy to pass the grinding, what do you do?
Yeah. What do you do?
There's nothing left.
What are you grinding for?
Yeah.
It's almost like if you were playing Minecraft and you could just skip to the Ender Dragon, but it's like, you know, but it's like, what's... Like,
But even then, there's stuff to do after the Ender Dragon, you know?
Well, right, but, you know, it's like, what's the point of just skipping to it when getting there is the entire gameplay?
Mm-hmm.
If someone tried to talk me into it,
real quick, got a break.
Man, we were leading for a while, and then it just dropped it.
64 hours. Okay, I overshot a bit.
That's still a lot of time to put into a game, especially a free game.
Yeah. I did want to give it a go. And, you know, it was fun for a bit. But it's just too grindy. It's just all grind.
I hate games like that. Like, I thought about giving it a try, and someone tried to sell me on it, and then what ended up happening, they tried to oversell me on it. I'm like, I started getting sick of it before I even ever touched the thing. Like, I tried to play it before, back when I first tried to play it, it was when it first launched on the Switch. And I tried to play it with I'm Fine once, and then took like 2 hours to download the game. We both never ended up actually playing it together. And then it's like Overwatch. Not Overwatch, sorry. Warframe, sorry.
Warframe, okay.
And neither of us ever ended up playing it together at all. And I never got to play it at all. It's just like, but I think I played a little bit of the tutorial level, and it's just like, it didn't seem bad, but it's almost just like, it's like, it didn't engage me right away. I didn't play through it and be like, oh man, I can't wait to really get into it. It's just like, I felt like I was just taking it. And granted, I didn't play it enough to really give it a fair judge, but I've seen a good bit of it. I've seen
Were you expecting there to be a story?
Yeah, no, not really.
Okay. The tutorial is the only point in the entire game where there is anything even resembling a story.
That's honestly scares me because
that game has no story. It's like you're a Tenno and you get a ship that you go around in and you kill the bad guys.
Like, it seemed like it had a sort of a promising story, but it's like, I obviously didn't play it enough. It's like, okay, well, maybe if it gets good. And it's like, I'm glad to know I didn't go in, because look, I can play games if the gameplay is fun, even if there's, like, no story, or if the story sucks. But if I'm looking for there to be a story, and there isn't, why am I painting the walls? Then, and it's like, and then the gameplay is not, it's like, it's a thing. It's like, sometimes I can put up with mediocre to bad gameplay, or maybe just not maybe bad or mediocre, but just boring gameplay, or whatever, if the story I've been taking along with this mediocre, boring gameplay is good. If both are bad, then like it's like, or if the story is bad and then the gameplay is not fun, it's like or it's just boring or tedious, then what's the point? It's like, I feel like a game can do without one or the other as long as what it is offering you or what it's focusing on is good. But if what it's focusing on is not even done well, and the other elements that it doesn't do well or even worse, then it's like, I feel like you got a bad game. I'm not saying that it is a bad game, maybe for what it's designed for, and the type of video gamers it targets like it, then it's a success. But that just means it's not. I mean, it's not built for everybody. It's like, I don't think, because that's the thing, I also can't really get into most survival games. Like, you know, like, say, Rust or 7 Days to Die, things like that, because I'm not big into crafting games where you can lose everything, and it's like, it just invalidates your time because of that kind of stuff. It's a major reason why I will never, ever probably try to invest any real time in Ark, because I heard it sounds like there's some cool things you can do in that game, but considering you have to do 30 hours worth of grinding to do cool things like that, I don't want to do that.
He just killed 3 of us.
I am being attacked by Eowyn. All of a sudden, she just came up and shows violence.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of games that I enjoy that are like that, and I can't really think of any. I really do enjoy a game that doesn't take losses too seriously, or doesn't punish you for failure, you know?
Right, it's like, look, games are supposed to be a fun way to spend your time, or to enjoy something. It's like, if you're trying just to make a game hard and punishing for no reason, just because it's how you feel like video games are, then it's like, I feel like, you know, it's kind of a crutch. Like, the fact that, for example, not that I felt like I really, needed it that much, the fact that they designed the Dark Souls type of games without a pause button in mind because they want to keep you on edge is really stupid, just because you're taking away a basic mechanic of video games in general just to make an excuse about why you chose not to put it in there. It's like, oh,
it's ridiculous.
I hate that kind of stuff. I didn't really need that situation. I can't believe I got 10 kills that match and we still lost. Like, such a high kill game to lose.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, I feel like games just have gotten exhausting. It's like...
Yeah.
And they just designed to eat your time. It's like, here's the thing, like how I mentioned earlier in this recording or video or whatever the heck this is anymore, I have no idea, that like how I've been playing the game in between the Splatfests and the big runs and junk like that for the daily wins and stuff. It's like, I never would have said that in Splatoon 2. It's like, it's literally a mechanic designed to keep you playing because you're afraid of missing out on content if you're not constantly playing. It's like games are designed to retain you for as much as they can, and it's like exhausting. Like, one of my favorite things about Splatoon 2 compared to 3 is I was never obligated to play it when I didn't want to, just because I needed to actually get what they have decided to make limited time things, because they decide...
Oh, yeah, the catalogs.
Yeah, like I think you can get most of those things just from the vending machine. I don't know how the clothes work, because like I think the clothes just later on become free, but like they don't specify when that is. So it's just like, okay, I'll play a little bit, but it's like, I don't like games that are designed to just keep you playing it as much. It's like, look, you already got my $60. The more you make me play it, the more you make me regret buying it in the first place. It's like, I want to be able to choose when I want to play it, not the game decide when I'm playing, if that makes sense. I hate timed game stuff like that. And I can kind of understand it when a game is, like, say, free, let's say Fortnite, like that kind of junk. You're paying to have that kind of content, so you're obligated to do it because you spent money on it. But when the game is already, you pay already to get in, and then they, like, do that for you as a way to keep engagement high, I think it's kind of a crutch. I feel like the reason why Splatoon 3 has a higher player base, a higher active player stuff, is because they're looking for ways to keep even the casuals playing constantly. And it's like, look, I don't want to play this game that much.
And it's just not rewarding to me.
Exactly.
I don't find it engaging. So.
Like, the catalog stuff's
so it's
cool.
like, what do I do, you know?
Right? It's like...
Like, well, I play with the homies when they're on because, you know, it's fun.
Right. But it's like
and then when they're not.
See, that's the thing. And then it's like sometimes I could go for a somewhat decently linked play session to play with a group of people, and you know, say maybe once a month or something like that, and then actually actively play a lot and have a lot of fun with it. But then it's like, when you expect me to keep being on it constantly, I'm not gonna want to just get up and be like, oh hey, you know what I want to play some more of? Splatoon. After playing it constantly all the time, it's like, I'd rather not. Like, I'm almost excited for this game's active run to be over, in a sense, because it's like... I mean, I don't normally mind it too much, because me just playing Salmon Run is usually enough to keep my daily stuff wins in check, and I don't have to grind, so it's just kind of there passively giving me stuff, rather than feeling like I need to work for it. But it's like... I feel like you're doing something wrong with your gameplay style and your whatnot if your game is not you're not wanting to come back to it of your own volition. Like, the game has to entice you to keep playing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you fear of missing out on content that you quote-unquote paid for.
Too, because a lot of games do that, but, like, huh?
Huh? I didn't. Oh, that might have been lag because I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay.
You said,
now I forget what I was saying.
You said a lot of games do or doing that.
Right, a lot of games. It's a classic, video game practice to, reward the player for playing, give reasons to continue playing, right? But it's just they do it in such a way that it just feels scummy and it doesn't feel like earned, you know?
Yeah, it's like no one ever asked for a Splatoon battle pass. Like no one ever asked for.
I hate to do this because I hate to talk about. I know I brought up Deep Rock Galactic earlier, and I hate to overtalk this game.
No,
because,
go ahead.
I'll turn people off to it, and I'll make people bored. But it has a battle pass, right? And you don't pay for it. It's all in-game rewards, right? You complete it by playing the game and by doing certain activities in the game. And everything that you earn is aesthetics, right?
Right.
Or everything that you spend the special currency on, which again, you don't buy it, you earn it by the playing.
Right.
You spend it on aesthetics, and if you miss the battle pass, like if it runs out and it goes on to the next one, everything that you didn't get goes into the RNG pool, so you can earn it through like gameplay, which is basically it has a mechanic that's kind of like this thing I'm pointing at here,
right?
The ball pit, where you like spend a special currency and you get a random, item from it.
Right.
You just get them through that if you miss the battle pass.
Right, and I'm glad that it took them freaking 2 quote-unquote game seasons to actually implement that. But I get it makes sense. There wasn't enough seasons to justify it yet, but it's just like, I don't know. It's like, the fact that it makes it not clear which things will be in there and which things will and won't come back, it's just like, I think it's for one thing. I think just for certain games, it's just like, I think it's unnecessary. I think for smaller games, like, it's actually something that engages you and I have more fun with it. But then it's games like this where it just feels like it just tacks it on as an unnecessary, like, chore. It's like, oh, what if I don't want to play this game that much? Well, then now it's like, I feel like Nintendo does this a lot lately of, like, those pre-order bonuses. Well, gaming in general does it now with those pre-order bonuses or limited time events. And it's like, they get you with the fear of missing out. And I got that because I fell for that when I bought Brilliant Diamond, and I really kind of regret that in hindsight, because, man, I'm glad I bought that secondhand but, I bought it, I wasn't going to really rush to get it, but when they started introducing the limited time events, I'm like, well, great, now I have to get it now, even though I don't want it right now, so that I can actually get the content that I'm technically paying for later, rather than missing it permanently. And I don't like that kind of thing in certain games that aren't built like around that, and then they just kind of tack it in. Like games like Fortnite, it makes sense because the game itself is already free to play. It's not like it's forcing you to spend more time on there when you don't want to because you paid for it, because you didn't. You're not trying to play more to justify your costs. It's free. You've already justified it by just playing in general. So if you buy something like that for those limited times, you want to get those to justify your purchase. But with Splatoon, I already bought it. I shouldn't have to feel obligated and pressured to play. I'm like, I bought it. I shouldn't have to earn it, too.
These should be fun if I feel like it. It should never feel like you're being forced to get a reward. A reward should be a reward, not a motivation.
Exactly. It's like, that's the thing. It's like, it should be, and it's like, for this type of stuff, it just feels like, it doesn't feel like a fun extra. It feels like it feels like a device designed to keep me playing more in a game that has nothing to gain from making me play more. I get it with Fortnite or something like that, because you're paying They're trying to keep you engaged so that they'll trick you into spending more of your money in their shop. That's how they do that. It's to keep you engaged so that you buy other things. But with Splatoon, it's not like that. You've already purchased it. Why should I have to play more to get more upgrades that may or may not be limited time only? Like, I just don't like that type of, like, forced engagement on people. It seems like a strange thing, like, oh, how dare you force me to play this video game? Like, it's not that. Because if this game was actually fun, I wouldn't feel forced to play it. But this is, you know...
Yeah.
It's not a miserable experience, but, like, it's not a fun one because it's a massive multiplayer game. It's, like... It gets you to play more than what you want to play it because, you know... And it's, like, it perpetuates that unhealthiness where it's, like, you're forcing yourself to play longer in situations that are just not healthy for you mentally. I think my brain is starting to cook a little bit, like, and I'm slurring my thoughts around, and they're not making sense.
No, I get it. It's just, this is why I always introduce, or I don't introduce. Hey, I'm Iceolate. I'm a gamer. But you know, I always like, you know, say that I'm a person who hates competitive games.
Right.
And that's why it's because they're all like that. And it's just like. I feel like over the course of the last couple matches, we've just summed up every reason why I say that. You know?
I mean, and that's the thing. The sad thing is I want to enjoy it, but it's like, I feel like game devs nowadays are, like, insistent on making their games more and more unfun as time goes on. Like, even my brother is, like, he's more into Fortnite stuff, for example, myself. Like, but, like, imagine playing Splatoon or whatever, and then being, like, you get used to having a favorite gun or whatever, or weapon and stuff, and then the game just decides, oh, you know, for this season...
It's not good anymore.
For this season, we've decided this gun's not even allowed to be used at all. Like, they're always busy introducing new stuff and taking out other weapons just because they want to. It's like devs aren't content until they're making their player base upset. Well, yeah, with Fortnite, it's like every season or whatever, or whatever.
Okay.
Oh, no, I was just using it as an example. But, like, they take out certain weapons at certain time periods, and they're like, oh, this gun's not in rotation anymore. You cannot play this gun in this game right now. You cannot use this. You know, when it's part of your game is gameplay, you want to be able to play with what you want to play with, not being forced to play with whatever scraps a game gives you.
It feels so basic, right? Because it's like you put a bunch of guns in the game because people like using different guns.
Exactly. Everyone plays differently, but when you force everyone to play the same, it's not any fun.
Yeah. It's so self-destructive.
Yeah, it's like, my point being is not to make some, like, Fortnite point. My point being is that it just feels like game devs for online games like these, it's like they're more designed to make your players unhappy, it feels like, than rather make them happy. It's like for how long it took them to freaking make freaking all the different kind of squid hairstyles and then lock them to certain genders. I'm like, you know, and not even to be in a gender thing. I'm just like, look, bro, dudes can have long hair too. Like, you know, obviously they took them a whole game to rectify that thing. You know, or it's like easy stuff they could put into more. It's like, it just feels like games are designed to, you know, to be I don't know. It's like games make me question, you know, the intent of things way more than they should. It's like they don't feel like they're designed to be fun. They feel like they're designed to sell you something, and only to sell you something. Like, and not about being something to actually enjoy, to be worth selling you something for. Like, a lot of Nintendo games are like that lately, where it feels like they don't feel fun. They feel more like they're a designed product rather than something someone felt passionate about.
Yeah.
It's like, for example, like why is it that it takes freaking indie teams to make the type of Paper Mario games people want to play? Like, it took people making games like Bug Fables or whatever game Nesse mentioned in Discord the other day about that was like Paper Mario. Like, I'm like, look, Nintendo over here is sitting on the fact that people want this from this type of stuff, and they just refuse to do things that make the fans happy. They want to do what they want to do, and only what they want to do, and it just feels frustrating. Because we're the ones paying you to keep not listening to us. That's the worst part. It's like we pay you to not listen. Pokemon's a great example of that right now. People pay them to not care, and they don't realize it. I know technically I'm quote-unquote I'm not helping because I bought both games when they came out. I'm like, because I still wanted to play it anyway, but I get it. But the fact is that shouldn't be punishing me because I want to play your game. You're basically punishing me for it by giving you something half-baked and then not fixing it. The fact that the only patch things that came out for those games, or for like the limited time events that were bugged and gave people not what they were supposed to get, you know, literally false advertising. And then, you know, fixing things that make the game easier or more fun. Because it's an exploit, and they don't want you to... They want you to stay in there and spend as much time as you can playing your game for no reason when you've already made your money.
That's another huge Nintendo L in the last couple of years, is that it used to be about letting you play your way, and now it feels like all their games are forcing you to play the way they want you to play.
Exactly.
That's the Splatoon thing. That's Splatoon and Pokemon, and they're not even close to the same type of game, and they both have that problem.
Exactly, and it's frustrating. It's like... Because that's the thing, it's like... Technically, one might say, no, you should play whatever weapons you want to do in Splatoon. I'm like, yeah, but here's the thing. Not all weapons are created equal. You can tell by looking at these.
And another thing is that, like, they literally, you can tell, they literally design some weapons
worse.
Or not weapons, but weapon sets poorly. Like, if a weapon is too good, they will give it an awful sub. Specifically, and they know that the sub is bad. They'll give it that to make its set worse because the weapon is too good.
Exactly. Or
like I could say, like the 52 gal. You know.
Yes.
You've been using that for ages, and you always complain that the sub is awful. They do it because the gun's too good.
Yeah, honestly, like the 52 has never been as good as it was with the 52 Deco back in Splatoon 1. The 52.
Because the.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, because it's like
Because they did the thing I've been saying.
Yeah, they purposely broke it. Like, the standard one has actually kind of always been the same almost entirely. It's always been this gun. The standard model always has always had the ink wall. But its special is always, and in special normally is always a long range thing. Like, I don't know what it was in Splatoon 1. It might have been the Killer Whale. And this game is Killer Whale 5.1. In Splatoon 2, it was way better. It had the Stingray, which I slept on in the first game. I didn't really appreciate that weapon for what it was until near the end of Splatoon 2, and I really appreciated it more. But like, its most broken set back in the first game was the Deco, and it had essentially the original. Without a lack of what to really explain it to you, like the original version of the curling bomb. Because the original curling bomb was kind of functioned... It was like kind of like a bomb chew, not a curling bomb. Because the curling bomb bounces off objects and you can adjust the timer. The original one, the motion bomb or whatever it was called, I can't remember. It shot in a straight line, but the moment it would just go until it hit something. And the moment it made contact, it exploded like a bomb chew. And it was really good because it was way faster than a curling bomb. So it really helped with that follow it in the ink tray and sneak in type of method like the curling bombs are known for. And then like its special in that one was the ink strike, which was great because in that one you charge up, point on the map where you want the bomb to go off, and then boom, there's an explosion in that part of the map that cannot be stopped. Now, granted, I understand that's overpowered, but it was fun, and that's the thing. The 52, I use it, and I've learned... The thing is, I don't have fun having to utilize ink walls. I have grown used to them and have trying to learn. It's like trying to learn how to get used to having a disability. You can't overcome the disability that you have, but you learn to work with it. So I learned to try and help other people play defensively with the ink wall. The ink wall is a little more helpful in this game, though, because since the game focuses on choke points, putting up ink walls just prevents people from going to certain places. So it's got... I've learned to appreciate it, but I always would just rather have a splat bomb over the ink wall, because then I'm just like, look, like if I'm trying to land, throwing an ink wall is not going to help, because it's not going to drive off an enemy, and most likely they're going to shoot through the wall before it turns on, and I'm dead. It's not a good deterrent like a bomb is. So it's like, yeah, the gun is really good, but it's crippled by mediocre sets that force you. That's the thing. The gun is a great killing thing with a medium range, but oh god, finish the match, please. I got connection was unstable at the very end. I just wanted to finish the match. Frick you! It was over! I just needed my results. Frick you, Nintendo. I hate you. But it's like, oh, I'm completely disconnected. I can't move. Game? Thank you. So it's like it's designed. It's like they designed, like you were saying, they designed the 52's support tools with the intent and purpose to cripple the weapon. Wait, have I completely gone offline entirely? I'm not talking to Iceolate anymore. What the freaking heck happened? Oh gosh. This is awkward. This will take a moment. let me change. This works. I don't know what to do. I don't want to re-enter the password. Are they gonna fix it? I don't know what they broke. What? There's no internet coming through. Well, this stream has been mostly a rant, it feels like, anyway, so perhaps, this is a good point to end, well, not the stream, the recording, to end it here. It feels a little awkward to end it this way, but there's not...
I don't think you can hear me.
Oh, hello?
Hello?
Oh, that was weird.
Yeah, you stopped talking for like 2 minutes and then you left.
The internet just suddenly disappeared, but hearing your voice tells me that it's back.
Apparently.
I was about to outro and everything.
Oh,
I didn't know if it was gonna come back, but it's back. It's back now. I was gonna be. I don't know what happened, but it's back.
Well, go ahead. Don't want to be snappy.
Is it already 1 a.m.? Yuck.
Yeah. There have been a lot of rants, huh?
Yes, I was doing that a lot. I feel like that's probably another reason why people don't watch the Splatoon stuff.
Dude, I love it personally because I never know what to expect when there's a Splatoon stream. Sometimes it's just tired.
Wow. And
sometimes it's super passionate talk, and then sometimes it's just lol comes out.
Yeah, sometimes it's just you know what? I'm just gonna complain, and it's
you never know what you're gonna get.
Exactly. It's kind of a mixed bag. It just kind of depends on what's going on at the time. It's almost kind of like a vlog where it's you don't know what you're gonna get because it's not like the game is gonna provide a lot of constant content stuff, and it's maybe that's another part of the reason why it doesn't get a lot of reviews, is because it's not the kind of content people want to go back up and rewatch. Also, it says that I got the banhammer on me, so now I gotta wait another 4 minutes for Nintendo to get their act together. I love it when that happens. Granted, technically, sure, that time it was my fault, but that happens when it's Nintendo's fault and they'll ban me.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro,
whatever. We're done anyways, right?
I guess. Ugh.
I mean, you were doing an outro, so.
I kind of was, but it's also like just video anyway. I don't know. It just depends on if you want to keep playing or not.
I mean, when I heard you were doing the outro, I closed the game.
Oh, you closed the game already. Okay.
I mean, I could open it back up. It only takes like 30 seconds.
I don't know. If you want to keep playing, I'm still good to keep playing anyway.
Do you have any, like, are you close to getting your next rank or whatever?
I'm in the last rank, and it's like, I'm 300.
That takes forever.
Yeah, so I'm not going to try and stick it out for that. It's like 303 out of 999.
Dang.
So I'm probably not going to do that all tonight. I might try and do some more of it later or tomorrow or something, but I'm not. I kind of stopped paying attention because it was just kind of rant mode.
Yeah.
Which I think they could be fun as long as it's not like an unhealthy nature.
I don't know if you noticed, but like before, the disconnect happened, I actually got disconnected from the lobby, like several minutes before your internet went down.
Oh,
so I think you were in a couple matches without me.
Oh.
I never brought it up. I was just
sitting
and waiting to get back in.
Dude, you should have said something. I have no... Hold on. Now I need... Oh, God. Now I need to go back and look. Okay. Yeah, you weren't there. I think I got confused because of the bucket. No, you were there on that one.
Much, but I'm just curious how many matches you went without me.
It looks like just one.
Okay.
Well, actually, maybe it was technically 2, because that second one I got disconnected. It's like 5 seconds left. But I think it's because the internet entirely disappeared. It didn't just break connection, it just vanished. So yeah, I guess it wasn't that. That's probably why I didn't notice.
Reduced to atoms. Dude, I have so many I can't even think straight. I have so many memes going through my head. these freaking Pokemon edits, dude.
I wish I was a better editor in terms of, but the thing is, humor is difficult. You kind of have to assume. You just go with what you think is funny. I used to try.
Yeah.
I'm mostly still talking because I'm still waiting to be allowed to create a room because Nintendo said ban. Okay, now I'm finally allowed to make a room again.
Nice.
But
maybe I should have just made a room.
Well, it wouldn't let me join you anyway if my timer was still on. But humor is a hard thing to do when you're like it's like one that's why I got confused, because I think you had the Bobbler and the person you got replaced with also had the Bobbler, so I didn't it didn't click with me.
Back to my regular bucket then.
But it's like humor is a hard thing to do, like say either on command or when you're trying to do it. Like I tend to think I'm at my funniest when I'm just not trying that hard, but when I'm trying to, it just feels like it doesn't work as well. Like trying to write humor is difficult, or or in my opinion, I would assume trying to do editing in terms of injecting humor would be difficult too. Like I tried to write like. There was something that a friend of mine used to do when I was in when we used to do this roleplay group, the same one I mentioned before. And what he would do from time to time is he would do, like, a spoof or parody version of it where he would go reread the old stuff and then kind of rewrite it in, like, a comedy sketch type of thing, and for the intents and purposes of making a funny parody out of it. And I always thought it was hilarious, and I remember trying to do that once, and I thought it was, like... Looked back and I thought, man, this is just really not funny. But it's like I thought it was funny when I was writing it, and then it's like in execution, it's just terrible. So like I commend people who can basically be funny on command, because I feel like that's a difficult thing for anyone to do. because you never know what jokes will and won't land.
Yeah, it's a gamble. As my man Gibby from our party said, life's a gamble. I don't remember what he said right before that, but it was something about the Yakuza.
The thing is, you could be freaking just pulling the wool over my eyes. I would not be able to tell the difference.
YouTube channel, and I just remember this clip when I said that, where he goes like, "I'm about to get a." I forget what he says, but
oh god, I
don't even know what he does on his YouTube channel. I just know him for this one clip, where he just goes like, he says like, "I'm about to get tomorrow I'm gonna get a package from the Yakuza, and it's either like." I don't remember what he says, but he either says, like, it's either drugs or it's going to kill me, or something like that. And he's like, oh, well, life's a gamble.
Oh, see, when you said it was from Gibby from iCarly, I literally thought when you said that you meant it was from one of the episodes. I'm like, what? Why would Gibby...
No. The guy who acted as Gibby, he has a YouTube channel.
Yeah, I did actually see that because he did, like, some... He was like a press cover or something. Oh, frick. I turn around and there's a suction bomb. Yeah, because I had seen some of his stuff too. And he's like, he seems also like hella gay. Which I'm like, that's...
okay.
Like, I don't know. I remember him just seeing a bunch of clips of him talk about getting stuff put up in his butt. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like, that's not my term of humor.
Subjective.
The humor is subjective. I can't tell if it's just serious, and that's what creeps me out. Not creeps me out, but it's like it makes me worried about like, is it serious or is it a joke? Because if it's a joke, it can be kind of funny, but otherwise, if you're just flat out saying that straight up, that's just kind of a little unsettling. To be that open is what I more so meant by. But it was like
I usually take it as a joke because
I would assume
I'm pretty sure it always is when it's said in that manner.
I mean, it's also from the era he's from. That definitely was more humor from his time, so it's hard to say. I'm actually really disappointed that he didn't come back for the new show that they did. I mean, I don't know if that new show, like that new iCarly, was any good. I only saw like the pilot episode.
I don't even remember hearing about that.
Oh well, yeah. Paramount did like some sort of. The streaming service that knows all the Nick stuff. They were doing like a streaming series with like a iCarly, but like with them all actors grown up, and it's just like later on, and like a couple of the actors didn't come back. Like I think her name was Jet McCurdy. She didn't come back because she actually hated the show. So
fair enough, I guess. I mean, okay. Like, to be fair, like, her character was portrayed as awfully as possible every single episode.
That's true.
I can't imagine it was fun to play that character.
No, I can't imagine. And the fact that like, I had heard that like the freaking.
Now that being said, she was like my favorite character.
Oh, she was 100% my favorite character.
But still, it must have been awful.
I heard it was the fact that she never wanted to be an actress in the first place as a kid, and that also the fact that like the dude that wrote a lot of those teen shows at that time, with that show included, he was like, I think he was kind of like grooming them, which is like big creepy vibes. So it was like, you know, that would obviously really be a big.
I'm pretty sure I've heard about that.
Deterrent from that. So like it's like I understand, but it's a shame because I'm way less interested in the show without Jeanette in it. And also the fact that
also,
Gibby...
I have to correct myself because I remembered Spencer exists. He was definitely my favorite character.
Oh no, Spencer's hilarious, and I'm glad he came back for the show too. But like,
well, he probably wasn't getting groomed.
just the mental image that you gave me saying that was just hilarious. It's not funny, but you know what I mean.
Hey, I mean,
no, the full grown adult probably was not.
Comedy is subjective.
True. And like that was also sad that like Gibby, like my other favorite character of that show, wasn't coming back either. It's because he was doing his stuff on his gaming stuff or whatever. And I'm like, I like, you know what, I respect it, and maybe you just thought it was gonna be trash and didn't want to have be associated with it. That's fine too. It probably was trash, but it would have been trash I would have watched if it had them both in it.
Yeah.
Like, as much as I liked the guy who did Spencer, for me, he's not enough to save that show, in my opinion. Not alone. Like, that show was made by its supporting cast, and when half of that supporting cast, especially the funny ones, aren't in, I'm not going to be as invested.
I ain't in either.
Now, what I saw, like, what's her name, Miranda Cosgrove, actually seemed funnier than in the original show, but to be fair, that was already a pretty low bar.
Yeah.
I honestly...
yeah, she wasn't that great.
Nah. I've never really liked her in anything she's ever done. I think the closest thing to a role she's done that I wasn't bothered by her and was in that one Jack Black movie, The School of Rock. That's like the only thing I can think of.
I hated her in that, dude. I think she was awful in that.
I don't. Maybe I just don't remember. I don't remember liking her in that movie. I just remember her being inoffensive, if that makes sense. But maybe I just don't remember it. I've only ever watched it once. I wasn't a huge fan.
And I know they're all characters, but I remember I really liked Jack Black's character in that movie.
Oh yeah.
Which isn't hard because Jack Black's amazing. He's like super likable. But
true.
I'm getting off on a tangent. I remember one scene where her character like tried to like blackmail him or something to like get like a better job in the band or something like that. And
oh.
She, like, I don't know. I don't remember exactly what it was.
I don't remember that. I've only watched the movie once, and that was back when I wasn't really as big of a fan of Jack Black as I was. Like,
she always gets roles. I don't know how she is as a person, obviously, but she's an actress. She plays a role.
Yeah, she's really good.
She just always got characters that were just total bitches, you know? It's like, you're just a person that I don't want to be around at all.
Right? She's got that energy about her, and it's like, if she's an actor, she's actually a complete angel in real life, then man, she's pretty good at acting for that.
Yeah.
But like, I didn't. That's the weird thing is she didn't have that energy in iCarly when she was the lead character, but I didn't like her for other reasons. I just thought her character was annoying. Yeah. It's like all her characters that she's ever been. It's like I don't necessarily dislike her. I dislike almost all the roles I know her for. It's like it's not you. It's the character. It's like because sometimes her character in that show was all right, but most of the time her character as Carly was just really awful and annoying. I just couldn't get into it. But that show's supporting cast back then was just, again, they made that show like so well.
Yeah, it was great.
It's like not shows I think about much anymore.
Supporting cast, but it was kind of pretty much everyone except for Carly.
True. I guess technically when I say supporting cast, I kind of really just mean everybody aside from what I would consider the main characters, which is Carly, Sam, and Freddy. I consider everyone else to be supporting cast, even though most of them kind of became main characters over time. But it's like, I kind of associate them more as supporting.
Spencer was in literally every episode.
True. So, but like, I feel like...
he kind of deserves the title.
True. I think the only reason I don't consider him that right off is because, one, he makes the show better, and I tend to think that most of the time the supporting cast does that more than the main cast. But, like, he also didn't start out as very prominent in each episode. Like, over time, he became more and more important. Like, he used to kind of be, like, a side character that was just kind of there for the bits when he was necessary, and then to graduating to having more and more time made for him. Kind of like how Gibby ended up being like a random joke character that would show up randomly to becoming a main episode staple, to the point where they had to make a second Gibby to take his old role, was like his little brother or something, which I thought was another great character because it was just more Gibby. Like, I completely forgot about the little brother character.
As the show went on, he like became more normal.
Yeah, he became more normal, so they needed someone to have his old energy, but like he'd still take off his shirt for no reason, which was still great, right. Even though it didn't make any sense.
I mean, the reason is because they didn't. They didn't. more so they didn't really understand what made him funny, so they're like, just have him do the things he usually does and people will laugh. You know?
Right, that's kind of the downfall of when you try to give a side character too much time because you don't understand what makes them a great contribution to the show, and then you just kind of oversell the few points that they do. Like, a lot of shows kind of, I think, fail because they try to make spin-offs with side characters and not understand why they're as good as they are. It's because...
Yeah, they don't do anything good with the characters. It's like... I don't really have anywhere to go with that, but I agree.
Right, it's like another thing, like cartoons that do that too suffer from the same thing. Like Jimmy Neutron was always a really great cartoon, so then they make a spin-off show that just stars Sheen. It's like, Sheen's one of those characters that doesn't really work as a main character or the lead because his contributions mean more when he's not the focal point.
Wasn't he the comic relief character?
Yeah, like him and like Carl, like they were different types. They were different types of comic relief. But then it was like when you when you make a comic relief the main character, then it's like they need their own comic reliefs, and it's like then you just got like a mess. Like a lot of shows I used to watch kind of suffered from that when they don't know what makes something funny, and then they try to monopolize on what they don't understand.
Right, that, and also another problem that I just thought of, which is that when they try to center around the funny characters, they for some reason feel like they can't be funny anymore, and then they stop being themselves. You know?
Right.
It's like when they center around the funny character, it's like they try too hard to make them serious. They're like, oh, well, they have to be serious now because they're Pokemon.
Because
like,
yeah,
no,
it doesn't work.
They're still funny. You have to be true to their character, you know?
Right. It kind of goes back to that thing I say about a lot of writing things in general, where if you have to change a character to make them fit with the plot that you're writing, it's probably not a good plot because you're over here doing the character injustice. Even if like it's something like making a character like more serious when there's
plot. It's just you need to
be
true to your characters.
Exactly. If you can't be true to the character, then you're missing the point, and you probably should rework the idea. If I don't know if that was one, I got you. Like one big example I think of, and not even invested in that series, is like what they did to the characters from The Last of Us in the second game. It's like I'm not personally invested in the games, but even I heard what they did to the characters. I'm like, that feels like a crime to those characters' character, and it sounds awful, and I don't think I would like it as from a story perspective, because games or anything, when I'm invested in your story, I get invested in that kind of stuff, and I care a lot about a product story. I don't care if that's not their focal point. It bothers me when you don't treat it with the respect it deserves. Also, no, that's a person's name is a line. I thought it was a disconnect, but their name is literally a line.
Yeah. 1 second. I'll be right back. Hey, sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
I wanted to... We're talking about characters. Hold on. Wait, I'm trying to bring my train of thought back. A character that... Or rather, a show that did characters phenomenally as a kid. And as a kid, I would just watch whatever's on. I didn't really appreciate what I was watching.
Right.
Until I was older. But a show that I watched as a kid that I think did characters phenomenally is Avatar.
It was what?
Avatar.
Oh. Yeah, I think in terms...
when we were talking about, comic relief, and I was thinking of Spencer at first.
Right.
But then I started thinking about Sokka. And his episodes are so true to his character.
Yes!
It's amazing how well they can take him seriously while having him still be a total goofball.
Oh, I agree. Like that's honestly, it's like I feel like conflicted over time about the Avatar series in general, but like that kind of happens. But like in terms of like how they write like that, and like again, like they didn't write a plot and then stick him in a situation he shouldn't be in. They built the plot around like say him and his character rather than the other way around. Like when you put the character and their personality first when you're designing a story, it's gonna work and feel a lot better than when you do it the other way around. Because then it's like, then you don't have the issue of making a character like you can, but I feel like more often than not I feel like it doesn't, or it's harder to make work.
Or it's something you have to use very sparingly because it can be interesting to put a character in a situation that they just don't belong in.
Right. I agree.
But yeah, sparingly.
That was like the thing, because it makes you think back. Like Avatar was.
You have to understand why you're doing that.
And Avatar always did like the really good thing of like it never took itself so seriously that it couldn't have fun with what they were doing. Like they knew it was like this. There's a time to be silly and a time to be serious, and it's like they never. Neither point ever overstated.
Every single episode had a point where it was like, okay, now we can be funny, just for a little bit,
Right.
Let's serious.
Right, and I think that that's one of the show's strong points is that it knew when to take itself seriously and when it knew when to be be a Nicktoon cartoon. It knew when to do both. And not a lot of other media forms do that as well anymore. Especially not its sequel. I don't think The Legend of Korra had that same good balance. Either, I don't know if it was the fact that the cast didn't fit that same formula, and then just being caked by that Nautilus.
Yeah, if you watch the first 3 episodes, I guarantee you will find that flaw rearing its ugly head.
I've watched the entirety of The Legend of Korra, so
I think I stopped after season 1, but I might have gone into season 2. I can't remember.
Honestly, seasons 1 and 2 were probably, well, I want to. Some elements of season 2 weren't as good as season 1, but I think season 1 was really good because season 1, I think, did what it did by playing to the characters' they've established strengths. Then as it moved on, like they kept adjusting those characters to fit the narrative rather than having the narrative actually be reflective of those characters. Like the awkwardly forced breakup of Korra and the love interest in season 2 because they wanted to. The one that was the love interest in the first season. Yeah, she did have a bunch.
I don't remember which one that is, honestly.
That doesn't really matter. The point is, I feel like they had to break both of their characters to make their relationship not work because it felt really unnatural how they wrote it and how they designed it and how they made them act around each other.
Yeah.
I don't think it worked. Like what I praise about Korra is that it managed to have a completely original plot and villain and characters. Oh crap! We got a gamer lean now.
Whatever.
But like it had such great original ideas and like every season tackled a different type of villain and a different type of situation and problem. It was something that it kept it different and it tackled a lot of different elements of like the lore and the different types of, rather than focusing on one villain for the entirety of the show, it focused on like the villain of the season and what that villain would bring to the table in a unique way from other ones. I thought that was a really good thing. It felt like I knew I was gonna get hit by that. It felt like 4 different stories with the same characters rather than one really long one. And I think they did that element of it really well because they had the Korra show had some of my favorite villains in like some of those type of cartoons because some of them were really, really good. They were really ominous and they did the role of being a villain really well. rather than, like, say, the Fire Lord is, like, this overarching villain of the original show for so long, but you never really get to interact with that villain hardly at all until, like, the final season. And then you're just like...
he was a means to an end. Like, he was the type of villain that's like, we need a villain, he's imposing, you know, he's
exactly.
Whereas something for the characters to strive for. And
exactly.
He worked very well with Zuko.
Yes.
I think he added so much to Zuko's character in particular.
And I think even with being a means to an end, he still served like the villain role and well for the characters that he affected. And I think that's a great way to do a character that has very little depth of their own affect other characters so well. But like what I liked about Korra is that each villain of each arc was a fully fleshed out character with their own goals, aspirations, and how they interacted with the characters and the protagonists. All were very interesting and unique. They didn't like boost off of each other. They were all like originally themselves. They didn't redo the same thing over and over, which I thought was like that show's strong point because it tackled 4 very distinct like plots essentially, all while still being one overarching plot about the characters. The problem was I felt like as each season happened, at least mostly after Season 2, Season 3, it kind of started to dip a lot, and by Season 4, I really felt like they had just adjusted too much of it just to fit the narrative they wanted to tell. These guys are sweats.
Yeah, I just remember hearing that the villains were super political, and that there was way too much politics in the conflicts.
I definitely feel that way for the final villain, because the final villain, while having an interesting power and mechanic to them in a combat sense, was a really bland and kind of lifeless villain, in my opinion, the final one. The third one, I don't remember too much about his whole overarching goal, but like his little band of villains they were very unique. He was really savage and ruthless, and you didn't get that impression like we're like Fire Lord. He just does that from behind the scenes. This dude in Season 3 was literally out there murdering people in some of the most creepy, creative ways that he could do with his power. It made him stand out. The second season, I don't remember. The plot was a little...
You did get to see him burn his own son in the face, which is pretty hardcore.
That's true. I mean, yeah. Fire Lord still did some good things, I think. Well, some bad things.
Good
like,
things.
You know what I mean? Some good things, narratively speaking. I mostly remember, like the first season's villain was actually, like, in Korra, was super menacing because it was a dude that could just take people's powers away, and they actually couldn't resist him. And it was like, and what I liked about it was that he had this imposing thing. He was the Bender Stealer, or whatever it was. And he just took people's powers, rendered them powerless to resist him. And it was like an interesting thing where they call it back to the original show where he was both a bloodbender, which was a cool callback to the show, which they didn't really expand on that enough in the original show. And he also had the same power that Aang got near the end of the show that he stole Fire Lord the Fire Lord's powers with. So they did 2 different callbacks in one character and made it really creepy and ominous. It was like an unstoppable force because they didn't understand what he was doing because it hadn't really been seen before. And it was just 2 cool things put together, and it was just like a menacing type of figure. I guess I don't remember the political points of each of the villains. I'm sure they did. But like I'm thinking about them from just kind of their actions and their air of menace that they kind of had. I thought they all had different positives and negatives, except I feel like the fourth one, the final villain of the show, the final season's villain was easily the weakest. They went off on a really bad note with Season 4, I think. It was a lot of complete random left fields that didn't make a lot of sense for the characters and how they were written. And the only thing I really liked about it was, one, the world building with how they had shown how the world changed over the course of the seasons. And the fact that the final quote-unquote boss, she was a metal bender, and she basically had a giant robot that was controlled by metal benders, which I thought that was really sick. Literally steampunk robots that are robots because they are bending the metal to make them move. That idea was really cool, and it stood out to me. And the fact that Toph was in Season 4. But outside of that, that was kind of the best parts of Season 4.
Mm.
It just, like, it tried to do a lot of different things, like dealing with, like, certain people, you know, with, like, trauma and stuff like that, but they just did it in such a terrible way.
Yeah, I heard a lot about how the people, the makers of the show have a, like, what's the word? A kink for pain.
Oh,
which
God.
They exercised on Korra a lot.
Oh, boy, did they. Ending of like, the last few episodes of Season 3, and a good portion of Season 4 felt like that a lot. And that's actually, never heard that in particular, but it makes a lot of sense, and it's kind of creepy. It's like you get off with making a character go through trauma, and then it not actually feel like it adds to the character, rather than just be a thing that happened to them.
Yeah.
That's kind of, and honestly, that's kind of what it felt like, because it felt like, now here's the thing, I'm not saying that some person, especially a protagonist, be so invincible that something traumatizing happened to them.
That's a massive L that a lot of writing things do. I would hate for it to sound like I want that.
Right, it's like, I don't think, like, I feel like it's fine for a character, especially a protagonist, to go through, like, a traumatic situation.
And I say writing things, stories.
But, like...
Stories do it. I'm sorry.
But then it's like, you can't just do that for the sake of doing it and then, you know, handle it so sloppily. It's like,
yeah.
You gotta... Because it's like, it's unrealistic. You just kind of, in some senses, get over it, or some senses just don't get over it. It's like, it's not really realistic either way, one or the other. It's like, you don't just suddenly, boom, trauma doesn't affect this character anymore.
You need, like, you need, like, to establish reasons for that, and a lot of times they don't. I mean, I haven't seen the later seasons of Korra, but I understand the plight of, boom, trauma gone. Oh well, they got over it.
Yeah.
I've seen that a lot in shows like Ruby, for example, which was a massive offender of that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I think I might have heard a little bit about that.
There's the girl that got her arm cut off, and they spend, like, an entire season establishing, like, the trauma and, like, just, like, her unpacking, like, all the implications and stuff. And then one episode, she just decides to get over it.
Right, and that's just not...
just
Unless there's, like, some...
And there's no change. She's just the character she was before, and that's it.
It's like, oh, we're done writing this shtick. We're just kind of poof, it's over.
It's not a shtick. Character development is not a shtick. You have to...
Exactly.
You have to own up to it.
And, like, I've thought about that with characters that I write myself, and I'm just, like... I'm trying to think of, like... I definitely wouldn't want it to just kind of be a thing where it's like, oh, it's snap and it's over, because it's like, you gotta look at the context of why certain things are happening. Unless you're something that's mentally, dude, another ×10 battle.
Yeah, so close together.
I know. I'll go through whole Splatfests and not have one. Get two in like 10 minutes.
I mean, we almost did do that. If we had ended when you originally were going to end, we would have done that.
That's true. That's true.
It's so weird. It's like they're just very clustered. Now, if we get 100 times before the end of the night, that would be crazy.
That would be crazy. Yeah. But it's like my brain is kind of like an autopilot mode, which is why we haven't really won many matches in a bit. I don't really, because I've just been talking. It's.
I would rather focus on what I'm saying.
The conversation.
Say something stupid.
Fair point.
Which, like, I think about it.
It's like I'm just not in a sweat mood right now. I don't want to sweat.
Dude, I'm never in a sweat mood.
You're too chill.
Ow! I see 10 times battle, and I'm not like, you know, like earlier. You were like, alright, it's time to game, and I was just like, okay,
whatever. Whatever.
It's time to do what I always do.
Bucket.
Like, I don't have it in me to take this game seriously, you know?
Honestly, fair point, because it's not like winning times 10 gets us more points to being done. It's the same thing. It's just more clout for the winning teams. Maybe we are why our teams lose all the time, like, overall. Too many people that don't play. I just walked backwards into a Booyah Bomb. Also, these guys have those freaking little things on their thing, which means I think they've won either times 10 or 100s already, or they've won a 3-3-3 battle, which is insane. That you play that much to get, like, I don't know. It's crazy how it works.
Sure. I don't even know how it works.
It's like, whenever you win a times 10 or 100 battle, you get one of those festival clams or whatever, and if you get a full bar, however many it is, I don't know if it's 7 or 10 or however, which I think is insane to get that many in one Splatfest, at all, even if it is 48 hours. Then once you have all the festival clams, you can participate in a 3 times 333 battle, which is a lot of like winning you have to do to get to that point. So anyone having that kind of title seems just kind of insane to me. That you could play and win that much. But like those are for people who really take it seriously. So I'll probably never see a times 333 battle in my life as a player for it, and that's perfectly fine with me.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
I just kind of
doesn't mean anything to me.
I just kind of enjoy being a part of the Splatfests, but not really enjoy like winning. Like I only enjoy winning in terms of being done faster.
Ooh, that's satisfying.
I think we won. Yeah. Okay. See, it's like I wasn't super invested. I wasn't playing much, like hardly any more than I normally was. But it still feels good to win it, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. It's like it's
that's nice
to win, but I'm not dedicating.
I'm not dedicating too much energy to
it. But it's nice.
It's nice. It is nice. That's a lot of clout.
It's just very nice. In like the last 30 seconds, I was like, I'm just gonna hang out in their base, and I got away with it. And we won.
It works. It's like sometimes when you're trying too hard, you're just not overlooking the simple stuff like that.
I'm just gonna sit in their base and walk circles with the Splatana guy for 15 seconds while we shoot at each other and miss.
Oh, I love that. I think sometimes, especially
I was outranged, but he just could not hit me, so we were both just shooting at nothing.
I love that. You're shooting at each other's mess. I think sometimes, I started getting more critiquey about stuff more I started streaming and less playing, because, you know, those type of things encourage you to speak your thoughts, because you're literally, people are here to listen to you. So I feel like over time I started getting maybe more critical of things and too opinionated about different things, where I feel like to the point where like I complain too much about certain things or not enough about others, and it's just like kind of like weird how it's like I noticed that's like I feel like, or it's like is it just me that's having more things to complain about, or is it just things around me that are more annoying than what normally bother me? It's like it makes me wonder.
Yeah. Dang.
It's like is it the problem with me where I can't simply just sit back and enjoy something, or is it the problem with what I'm taking in that has too many problems to enjoy? It's like, what is it? Is it like is it I'm not simple enough, or or what is it? It makes me wonder.
Makes you think.
And it's like, am I overthinking? I don't know. I tend to think that the overthinking or thinking too much about something is better than not thinking enough. Better than blindly intaking. But then there's also that...
Sure, yeah.
The half of it, like, ignorance is bliss. There are people that can devote hours to, say, Splatoon, for example, and in win or lose, they don't feel like they're losing anything. It's like, makes me wonder, is the problem like with me? And I'm like, yeah, these people, it's like, why aren't you upset like I am upset? And they're like just over here intaking and then not caring. It makes you wonder where the line is between caring too much and not caring enough.
Sorry, I was really focused on taking out that Splat.
No, you're fine. My brain, I just kind of thought they got disconnected again. Like, oh no, should I be gearing for a disconnect?
No, I thought, I knew that was the problem, because I was like, wait a second, I forgot to respond.
No, you're fine. I couldn't aim on him. Justin got me.
Yeah, me too. These last couple matches, we have been going against some insanely sweaty dudes.
Right, so it's almost like I stopped trying so hard, because it's like, you're sweating so hard, even if I try, I'm not going to out-sweat you.
Yeah.
I don't know, it just
like,
sometimes...
And they're shooting dualies, so it's like, both of their hands are being used, so it's just maximum sweat, you know? It's like, how can you even hold on to those things anymore?
Right. But it always makes me wonder if I get too hung up on that kind of stuff or not. And at the end of the day, I know it doesn't really matter. It's just kind of a subject. Like all things, opinions are subjective. That's why they're opinions and not facts.
Right.
God, Hydras are just like... I remember back when the Hydra used to be a complete niche weapon, and now it's like... It's not uncommon to see several Hydras in one play session. I remember when that gun was first released, and nobody used it because it was such a complex weapon. It was too complex for Splatoon 2. And now you see it all the time. And it's like... nice to see that it gets used, but it's also like my sister's mad because like I used this weapon back when nobody else used it, and now everybody uses it, and it's not fun to use anymore.
I'm one of the real ones.
Exactly, basically.
I know that feeling, but I don't know why. I'm trying to think. What has made me feel that way before? I got 2 kills at the end. That was
I feel like that would be you with the Xenoblade franchise.
I guess, but I'm kind of just... No, not really. I'm happy that Xenoblade's popular.
Oh, well, no.
Like, really, I'm not like, salty about it at all. It's like seeing new people enjoy it is super nice.
Yeah, you're not over here gatekeeping.
It's like, oh, finally, people get it.
Finally, I'm validated.
That was a huge thing in the Fire Emblem community. I don't talk about Fire Emblem a whole lot here, but I've been in the Fire Emblem community for years. And that was such a massive thing when Awakening came out, which was a decade ago. That was 10 years ago, which is crazy to me.
I've still yet to play it, too.
2013 was 10 years ago. I honestly can't believe that. But
Man,
back when
I'm
Awakening
old.
came out, and it was, you know, it outsold every other Fire Emblem game to that date combined. And it was just, like, the amount of new Fire Emblem fans in the world was just, it was so massive that, like, it was just gatekeeping left, right, and center. Like,
Right.
the old fans were just constantly preying on the new Awakening players.
Yeah. I remember seeing a lot of
Like-
that online back then.
Yeah, like, characters would just be like, oh, I love the... characters. Real people would be like, oh, I love this character so much. I love, you know, this support so much, you know? I love this... and there would just always be people going like, oh, you think that's good? You should see how this character from this game that came out 15 years ago that you have no way you could possibly play.
Right.
The system that's still around.
You make a completely good point, too.
Like your opinion doesn't matter because you don't have the full context of a 30-year-old franchise that makes game that the oldest game runs worse than freaking Tetris.
Right.
Actually, Tetris runs pretty well. Its
I
graphics
wonder-
are worse, is what I meant.
I wonder what it was with the big surge of like it felt like gaming just kind of felt like it was more respected medium around the 2010s, and it's like I wonder what that is. Is it more people growing up?
I splatted Caleb.
I wonder
Sorry
if
to interrupt you.
No, you're fine.
It's actually him, but
Nah, it's not that Caleb. I don't
probably
think.
not.
Let's see, change his splat tag. It's possible. If he's using an arrow spray or a gold arrow spray, it's entirely possible.
I didn't catch his weapon. I killed him too quick.
Because I never see him use anything that's not an arrow spray as a salmon run. I don't know.
That is his name in Splatoon, right? It's just Caleb?
Yeah, it's just Caleb.
That was just such a shock to me.
He has no online persona. He's just straight up Caleb.
I think he's the one using the Flash Blaster. So it's probably not.
Reese Puff's got the Splash-O-Matic.
And they've also got a gold arrow spray. So
I wonder, I remember when I grew up and, like, video games, like, were not nearly the sociable, acceptable, hobby as they are now. And I'm not, like, upset that it's not. Like, I'm not, like, I see, like, in the kids section, for example, I see kids that have, like, the little Mario t-shirts and stuff like that. And it's like, I'm not jealous of the shirt, I'm jealous of the fact that they get to grow up in a time where that's normal and something that can be readily, like, obtained and accepted. Whereas I grew up and video game anything was, like, a niche. Like, my dad had such a hard time finding any kind of, like, game-related merchandise for me as a kid that, like, he found some of my oldest Mario shirts. I don't know if I still have them anymore. Some of the weirdest ones because they were outfits totally designed for adults. Like, I remember one of my oldest Mario shirts, and if I have it anymore, I'd show a picture of it. It's Mario on the shirt, and I think he's in a tuxedo except for his hat, and he's holding a wad of cash, looking real smug. I'm like, bro, this is this is like some kind of adult merch, and it's like I was wearing it as a kid because it's all that existed back when I was a kid, because that was before like video game merch of any kind, even Mario, or if it wasn't Pokemon, it didn't have merch back when I was a kid, for the most part. So it was like merch of any kind of video game anything when I was growing up was so rare. So it was designed specifically for the retro gamers. And it was, like, in specialty stores, too. It wasn't, like, something you could see at the Walmart or whatever. I wonder when and how gaming changed so drastically for that. I wonder if it was part of the Wii era. Oh, we won.
It probably... I mean, I don't have any insight on, you know, the marketing of video games.
Oh, no.
Like, I feel like it's entirely possible that there wasn't a huge jump and that it's just been that long. Because I'm constantly going, wait a second. Like, I'm constantly looking back and being like, wait a second. Games have been around for a really long time, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like there's just more people that would consider themselves gamers in general nowadays. Mm-hmm. Like, for the longest time, the top-selling console ever was the PlayStation 2, and that's mostly because people just bought it because it was also a DVD player at a time where DVD players were a super high luxury item, not something you get at the Goodwill down the street.
Right, and they wouldn't even use it as a PlayStation.
No, exactly. So it expanded this PlayStation 2's place as a console, but also just like
crazy.
And then nothing else came even close to touching it till the Wii, and that was like mostly a grandma fad almost for a lot of people. Like a lot of people may have only ever bought a Wii, had Wii Sports, and never bought anything else again because to them it was like an adult toy or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Switch is like closely approaching #1 selling console of all time, but that just goes to show you the Switch is up there, and people that own Switches actually play them, as opposed to like people who own PlayStation 2s who needed a DVD player. And it just feels like there's so Horus Boris. I just saw his name, Horus Boris. I couldn't believe that Splatoon 3 got a cameo in Xenoblade 3 like that.
It did?
Or sorry, or maybe I meant to say that backwards, but it still kind of works.
Xenoblade 3 got a cameo in Splatoon 3?
Yeah, this the Ouroboros showed up.
Oh, that thing. Yeah, sure.
Oh. It's also just kind of weird. It feels like there's more people that play games nowadays.
Like, what? How have I never heard of this?
There's more people that play games nowadays, it feels like, but like, it also just feels like in some ways the quality just also has just dropped. It feels like, or something. Maybe not the quality, but something has dropped.
It's weird how that works. When there's more people buying, there's less of a need to make people want to buy it because there will just be more people buying anyway. You know?
True. It makes me wish the Wii U had been more successful, so then maybe we wouldn't have gotten to the money grubbing level that the Switch was. Because I think back, I'm like, man, the Wii U really was a wasted opportunity. It may have made the Switch a better opportunity, but it's a shame. It was such a poorly ran opportunity. It didn't need to be. And I say that every time the Wii U comes up in conversation because I really do like that console. And
it's hilarious how much of the Switch, how much traction the Switch got.
Yeah, it's like it's insane. I mean, the idea though of a console of a video game system being portable, but also being something you can put on the TV was unprecedented at the time. I really felt like, honestly, they could have done that, where like they could have made 3DS versions of games that worked on the Wii U, because the Wii U had the dual screen functionality. You could have done 3DS games on the Wii U, and I think if they had actually done that, it would have been better. Like, imagine some of the biggest 3DS games, and you could have played them on the Switch or had Switch port, or sorry, played them on the Wii U or had Wii U ports. Could you imagine how much more, how much better that Wii U would have sold if it had been able to play the massive 3DS library? That would have been crazy. You wouldn't have had two Smash Brothers. You would have had a Animal Crossing on the Wii U, which for a lot of people was a massive disappointment. And the fact that the Wii U did not get an exclusive Zelda at all, you know.
Yeah, it got
like,
2 re-releases.
Those things would have saved the Wii U. Well, it also had Breath of the Wild, but Breath of the Wild dual launched with the Switch, so like I don't count that.
Which doesn't count.
I don't count it as exclusive.
Yeah. I'm trying to think because the 3DS had its own Zelda titles, right?
Yeah, it had Ocarina 3D, it had Majora's Mask 3D, it had Link Between Worlds.
Not remakes, not remakes.
Okay, well then it had Link Between Worlds. It had Triforce Heroes.
Triforce Heroes.
It had.
But yeah, sure.
Well, it's technically a Zelda game.
It is, yeah.
I
don't want to come across like, oh, like some elitist, like, oh, it's not really a Zelda game because it doesn't, I'm all for Zelda games doing things that are different. But the fact that it's like a multiplayer exclusive, or not exclusive, but, you get that game for the multiplayer.
Right. That game was almost impossible to play single player. I tried it.
Yeah.
I never technically finished it.
I
never technically finished it either because I was playing it with 2 of my friends, and they kind of fell off of it, and I couldn't finish the game without them. I still don't remember it. And the thing is, I kind of consider it finished because we were literally at the final boss level, and we just could not do it because the problem was with that game, all 3 players share 1 health bar. So if one person's doing badly, the whole team dies. It's pretty rough. So it had some level of challenge. It was fun, but, I kind of consider it beat in a sense. But I didn't finish. So I think the only thing that I would have even maybe technically said at the time the Wii U had that was exclusive, essentially, was Hyrule Warriors. It originally launched for the Wii U. It has then since been ported to the 3DS and the Switch, so...
That counts, though, yeah. It was a Wii U title.
True, and it was one of the few I actually owned.
You can't say that Ocarina of Time wasn't a 64 title just because it got...
Oh, well, okay, in that standards, then yeah, the only... It's like some would say that technically Breath of the Wild it is the Wii U's game and the Switch is a port of it.
No.
But it's like, because it was originally designed for the Wii U. It's like, just because they decided to jump ship on the Wii U early and go to a new console doesn't mean...
In development, sure, but when it was released...
it was a dual release. It was a dual release, so...
Yeah, that's completely different.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like one of the... And I heard the only reason it was released on the Wii U is because I heard it was promised to release on that console. So they couldn't just drop it without looking like a bunch of liars.
Yeah.
Which I'm like...
Which, to be fair, they constantly look like liars.
Nowadays, for sure. Back in the Wii U era and the 3DS, Nintendo had a little more integrity than they do now. But they had different people at the helm. Miyamoto's the only person who's, I think, one of the big wigs of Nintendo that's still there. And it's like, even Miyamoto, unchecked, has done so much, like, has caused so many problems for the gaming stuff. It's mostly Mario. But... I don't know. I feel like...
I'm not super familiar with what he's done.
I heard it was his call to take the Paper Mario series in a less serious, more gameplay direction. Like, even if, like, I'm sure that's like, because Miyamoto feels like the Mario franchise either isn't or shouldn't be doing massive storytelling stuff, and that should be left to more stuff like Zelda, which, sure, but, like, Paper Mario 2 was one of the best Paper Marios ever, partially because of its story and characters. But I also heard people were saying that it was the Paper Mario development team that chose to not be super creative. So who the heck knows who's truly at fault there? I don't know. But all I really know is that a lot of Nintendo originals now are not at the same quality as what I feel like they would have been back in the day. I don't know. I just, like, I don't know. I feel like whenever I see a new entry to a franchise in Nintendo, it feels less like a passion project from the team and more like an obligation to keep an IP going.
Yeah.
That's how the Kirby franchise really felt. I'll be fair, I didn't play that new Kirby game.
Feels that way now.
Oh, I thought we had that one.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I didn't gamer sweat enough.
I don't know. I haven't bought a Kirby game in so long.
I didn't even buy a Star Allies.
Why? I don't hate, like...
No, right, it's just like...
I don't, like...
My sister said this about Kirby. It's like...
It just doesn't...
My sister said this about Kirby. She's like, once you played one, you've kind of played them all. It's like... Yeah. It doesn't offer a whole lot of extra. Oh, the maps have changed. That means it's probably 2 a.m. It sure is.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call it quits there.
Yeah, actually, I was thinking about the same thing. That's actually a perfect reason to stop. I might just finish up the rest of this, like, tomorrow or something. I'm gonna get the food.
Oh,
I mostly just kept playing because I wanted to keep talking, really.
Right. Yeah, this game really fell off when they took Mincemeat Metalworks out of the cycle. There's some.
I feel like I'm gonna go out real quick before we leave. I feel like I want to go to the recon mode, look at what stages are in the game, and actually think: do I like any of these stages? Because I feel like I complain about every single stage. I hate feeling like I'll have no positivity. It makes me wonder: is it just me just hating on things, or is it literally feel like it's just bad gameplay design choices? And it's like, let's see.
And I will also be here because I don't think you can join somebody.
Let's see. How many stages are there? 4. There's 16 stages. I haven't even played on the Anta Maria yet, and it's been in the game for a while. I haven't even played on it. Scorch Gorge, I have mixed feelings on, but we played a lot of that.
Is that the boat map from 2?
Yes.
It's back?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
They added that with new Unami Ruins, and we've played that one. So that's only been back in the game for the month of March, and you haven't played other than I think Salmon Run in March.
Enough.
So this has been the first. I haven't gotten to play on it yet. And I haven't played Anta Maria to see if they've changed it much, but I remember thinking it was okay in Splatoon 2. The Ruins, I don't know, like, it's not as chokeholdy, but it still has that same kind of problem. Flounder Heights, I really like that in Splatoon 1, and it's like, they didn't really change much of the stage, but I think because the metagame has changed for chokeholding stuff, Flounder Heights is kind of rough, but there's a lot more mobility options in Flounder Heights than you think, because most of the walls are inkable, so you don't have to go through the center path. You just go around and go up the buildings and junk. Brine Water really just depends on if your enemy has splatling guns and snipers. If they don't, it's kind of an even game. If not, it's just kind of range controls that stage. Wahoo World, I think it depends on the mood. I love and hate that stage. Mako Mart, that might be one of the only stages I can say I actually like solidly. Sturgeon Shipyard is. It's the one inside. It's the shopping store, the shopping mart. I know that doesn't.
From 2?
Yes, I think.
I remember there was 1 and 2 where there was like this there were like 2. There was like a side way that you could go. And then both of the sideways and the spawns came out to like this 4-way crossing in the center that was always hell fucked to go through. And then you could go up top too. There was like a glass ceiling up top. Am I thinking the wrong place?
Oh, I know that one. That's the what's it called? It's the it was a museum stage.
That's right. It wasn't a shopping center.
It's not Museum Delfonso, which is a different stage, but it was a museum.
Okay, shopping. Oh, is it like the really like wide open one with like the tents everywhere, or not tents, but like?
No, that's
partitions.
What is that one in this? That's Hagglefish Market.
Okay.
Mako Mart's the one.
Stages.
Mako Mart is the one that is literally inside of a store, like a Walmart.
Okay. It's the one where there are like those on the left side of each spawn. There are like those really like narrow ways that go really far down, but you can't go through there because there's always someone up top shooting down at you.
I think so. Yes, I think that's what you're thinking of.
It's hard to describe. There's like a ton of really tall platforms off to the right of the spawn, but then if you go to the left, it's really low. But it'll get you farther, but you will always get shot from above if you try to go through there.
I think you've described it right, but I feel like it also describes a lot of stages. Sturgeon Shipyard is by far my least favorite stage in this game. It's awful. It's been awful. It's awful in 2. It's awful in 3. That's the one where we had that.
It's the moving platforms that you always fall off of.
For me, it's just the fact that stage is so easy to chokehold, because if you get to the center, there's like only 2 little paths that you can get through, and it's so easy to get sniped off or whatever, or just shot at on your ascent, because they always have the high ground. You can't get around that. That was the stage that we had all those awful tricolor battles on, the Sturgeon Shipyard.
Yeah, and it's the one where you have like these tower kind of structures leading into the center.
Yes.
But you can never use them properly because to get to the center from there, you have to parkour across the moving platforms.
Exactly, it's awful.
That's just impossible to do while you're getting shot in it.
Yeah. Inkblot,
it just can't be done.
Inkblot's kind of just been the same as it always is. It's kind of okay.
Inkblot's the one with the tower in the middle, right?
Yeah, it was the one where we did the big run on last month. Mahi Mahi Resort is become awful. It was really good in Splatoon 2, and they took off all the extra pathways and made it linear, and it's become worse. So I don't really like getting stuck on Mahi Mahi Resort anymore. Museum Delfonso is fine, I guess. Hammerhead Bridge I actually do kind of enjoy, but it is very easy to get chokeholded on that stage because it's literally basically a straight line. So if you control the center, you kind of control.
Feels like all of them, dude.
Yeah, I know. They all kind of... Mincemeat Metalworks,
It's
sometimes I like that stage, and other times I absolutely hate it. Same with Undertow Spillway. Like, that really stupid-looking, weird platform in the center of that stage is really weird and wonky. But it's okay. Hagglefish is okay, but again, it's so easy to get chokeholded there. Eeltail Alley, I can't... Which one is that one? I can't remember which one Eeltail Alley is. Oh, no, I know that one. The Eeltail Alley's alright. But, like, most of these stages, I look at them, and it's so easy to get chokeholded in those. Museum Delfonso has some alternate paths. Inkblot has some, but it's still easy to have that happen to you. Wahoo World is, I think, a little more fair than some other ones, because it's a Splatoon 2 stage. So it's like, okay, so yeah, I don't hate all the stages. I just hate probably 75% of them. Which makes it very hard to enjoy this game when you hate most of the stages.
yeah.
So
Agreed.
it's because you can't get around the fact that they have designed the metagame to be chokeholded. That's their design choice. And you know it's their design choice for Turf War because those same stages don't play the same in other game modes because they adjust the stage's layout for the different game modes. So they purposely choose it to make it that way, which really bugs me. Because it's like, that just tells you they know what they're doing, and they're doing it on purpose. And you can't stop them. Mm-hmm. So you either get over it, or you don't play. And honestly, it just depends on the stages, whether or not, like, honestly... Which is why my favorite part of this game is Salmon Run. That's one of the few good changes they decided to make to this game is make Salmon Run 24/7 and not have it randomly spaced out the times you can't play it. Like, it made sense because it's like, you're not always at your job. Your shifts don't always, like as a gameplay
but also I'm playing a video game.
I'm playing a video game. I want to have fun. And it's more fun to have fun.
Stupid. That's not an excuse at all.
Right. And honestly, Salmon Run is...
We're trying to make the game about post-apocalyptic squid people realistic. You can't work all the time. You can't do your job when you want to.
Exactly.
Or when you want to, rather.
It's like this game, it's like... It frustrates me because that's a thing. In most games like that would frustrate me that much, I just put down. But it's like, I want to enjoy this game. I want to have a good time because I've been playing it since the first game. It's like, I want to enjoy you, game, and you make it so hard. It's like being in a bad relationship, but you're just desperately trying to make it work. And it just gets harder and harder. I know all that about that.
Took the words from my mouth.
Just snatched them right out. So I'm gonna go, then I'm gonna end this recording. I don't know if I'm gonna have it in me to edit down 3 hours of footage. I may not.
Just post it.
I might just post it. It's like one way or the other. It's like, it is what it is. For the 2 people who may watch it in 5 years.
Right. I'll be one of those 2 people. I watched the last one, and I just lost my shit.
Honestly,
over and over.
Most of the ones that I think don't get the rewatches as much are the ones that I did them solo because they're just not as fun. There was a period of time where I played Splatfests alone and it just was not fun. And then the really early ones. Well, exactly. I didn't have friends at the time. Like we're like,
no, because Splatoon 1.
Well, yeah, Splatoon 1 I played alone, and those were actually just videos. I would record myself playing for like an hour, then do the rest off screen and suffer in silence. Yeah, and then in Splatoon 2, we had all those really early launch Splatfests where it was with I'm Fine and Ace and a couple of other people, and Ember and stuff. We'd cycle around. And then at some point during the run, none of the old Splatoon players played it anymore, so I literally didn't play with anybody. So, and that's just because nobody wanted to play anymore.
Oh,
So
unfortunate.
it was unfortunate. But
I mean, there's like nothing you can do at that point. It's like it's not even you. It's just
true.
the game.
True.
It's just if the game's not fun, then people don't want to play it.
True. It's exactly. There's not much you can do about that. It's like especially when you're just by yourself, it's really hard. It's like, it's like, because honestly, I don't blame people not wanting to watch that stuff either if I'm not with somebody else, because it's like after doing Splatoon for several hours on your own, it just feels mentally taxing. It feels literally exhausting. And back then in Splatoon 2, you only had one day. So it was like, you had to get all of that done in one sitting, and it was exhausting. At least with the 48-hour change they've made, it's a little less stressful. Which is like, so you can take your time and not feel obligated to sit there and grind it out all. And then for a stream or a video, it's like, it's exhausting because the person who's supposed to be entertaining the viewer is getting more and more out of it, and it's like not as fun to watch. At least it was always for me, because it happens when you suck. It sucks to suck.
Yep. I mean, that goes with any game.
Yeah.
But, I mean, not it sucks to suck, but
it sucks
the
to
other
suck.
thing. Where no, but I mean, like the point where it's like you just get sick of it. But it's just with Splatoon, it's like you can only play at certain times, or you can play whenever you want, but how they have like the whole Splatfest thing, and it's like
exactly. You only can play when the game decides there's partying to be done or whatever, and it's like I don't know.
I feel like I can barely form sentences right now.
I kind of get that. It's like it's late, and you're not probably. Well, I don't know if your insomnia is gonna keep you up anyway.
Oh, it probably will.
So who knows? But I'm going to end this video then and post the whole thing up tomorrow or something, or I don't know I don't know how long it'll take to upload. I don't know. Well, I'm out of VODs to upload, so it'll probably go sometime this week, which would be one of the fastest reposts of a stream ever.
Yeah, right. I mean, you could not for long though, because you can keep doing that now that you're not back up. You can keep, posting stuff quicker. Since you don't have like a month's worth of VODs.
Yeah, exactly. I just have to
worth of VODs. I can't speak.
I just have to, stay in the groove of that. Did
I say a month's worth or a month's work?
I don't know, because like with the mic quality, you might have said both. The mic quality is kind of rough sometimes.
Right, let's change the subject.
The subject, which is now just leaving, so I'm heading out, and hopefully by the next Splatoon Splatfest, I can actually do it live again and not have to record it. So that way I can. I don't know. Oh my gosh, my brain literally forgot what I was gonna say. I think it's time to go. Yeah. I'm in the middle of my sentence, and it's like I'm looking at it, and it's like it suddenly goes from a full sentence on paper to the second half of the sentence just disappearing. It's like, where did it go? Where did it go?
24.
I know something that's funnier than 24. 25. Alright, so I'm gonna head out on the video. Thanks for watching, whoever it is, even if it's just Future Iceolate. It might be Future Sora. Future Sora tends to watch this type of stuff. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if streams and videos are different. Sora may be picky. Who knows?
Future Tang, I'm surprised you're here.
Wait, what?
I don't know. I'm just pretending I can see the future.
Oh! For a second, I thought you said that, and someone entered the chat room.
I'm like, of a recording.
Oh God! Well, we are in gaming VC. Anyone could have just strolled right in. I'm kind of surprised nobody did. Like howdy ho, neighbors. How's it going? Shows up this is Splatoon. Yeah, because it doesn't say I'm streaming. it's even though I'm recording, it just says wallpaper engine. I don't know why it does that. It just says playing wallpaper engine. I'm like, bro, when I used to see people have that as their statuses for so long, and I'm like, what does that mean? And I get it myself, like, oh, when it's running,
Yeah,
it
because they
says
just leave it open in the background.
exactly. Oh god, wait a second.
Close it.
I really hope. Oh, I had. Oh no, I did. I muted the wallpaper. Like, I forgot that one wallpaper was just Xenoblade, so I'm hoping that wasn't Xenoblade playing the whole time.
That would
in the
be
back.
hilarious.
And then I remembered. Oh wait, I remembered I muted the wallpaper before I started the recording. I thought of that back when I had more consciousness.
That would not only be really funny, but also be a new low for the worst VOD you've ever uploaded.
That would probably
It's
be
like,
pretty
oh, cool. There's just the Xenoblade theme playing
the entire time. And it's like people would be like, "What's the relation here?" I remember that was happened one time. I had like freaking spooky music playing or something, run some intermission music to start up a stream, and didn't realize my mic wasn't muted, and I had something else playing on my phone at the desk, and did not realize until someone said in chat, "I didn't think these two songs would go. I don't think these two songs go well together." And I'm like, "Oh, well, that's embarrassing."
Because they don't.
They don't. It was just like some would call it a cringe song because like for some reason, it was like I think it was like the Living Tombstone's first Five Nights at Freddy's song.
Oh boy.
So it's like, but like sometimes you have to hear that kind of stuff because you heard it before and it's playing in your head. Like, okay, I need to hear this to get it out of my head. So I was playing it and like, oh, everyone heard me listening to that, and now I have to wear the badge of shame. I mean, to be fair, it wasn't really cringe when it came out. It's just become cringe now.
Yeah,
So.
we've made it cringe.
Yeah, that's how society works. I've seen enough of the creepy kid edits of that song. I'm like, oh boy. That song is just forever tainted now. That was back when that franchise took itself a little more seriously, and it actually wasn't as cringe as it is.
I feel like that's just, that sentence right there is just this entire stream. Like, wrapped up into one. Hey, remember when gaming companies weren't cringe? That's just it.
That was, and it all comes full circle at the end. It works out great.
That's
that
all
way.
we've talked about.
Yeah, well, it's all we've talked about since Sora left. So,
Right.
2 of the 3 hours that this has been going on was complaining. I don't know
Before
when
that,
Sora
it was
left.
Monster.
Oh, Sora's mic had broke. That's what happened. I'm like, I don't know when Sora left, but Sora left at some point, and never heard them leave. Oh well.
Yeah.
All right, so I almost started doing it like an outro as if I was live streaming to someone. Like I was like, oh, well, I'll try and get a stream tomorrow. Like, well, no one's gonna know. By that point, tomorrow, you know, it'll either be later today or sometime this week. It's not gonna be tomorrow. No one's gonna see it. The only one who's hearing that is Iceolate right now.
Unless you upload it like tonight.
I mean, I probably could try and get it uploaded. It just
No,
depends on how
there's
bad this.
There's no reason to do that.
There's no reason. Like the last VOD that actually just went up before the freaking I ran out of VODs was just the last Splatfest, so that kind of gives you a perspective. I think even the video when I uploaded too, I don't know which. They both went up.
You did. No, you did. I've watched it.
I did both. I know I did both. I don't know which ones of the VODs I migrated over. I have no clue.
Oh, okay.
I might have done both. I don't remember. Alright, I'm going to end it now. So, have a good one, whoever is watching later. And thanks for joining me, Ice, for this way too long of a thing.
Yeah.
Have a good one, guys.